Oh, is the music playing? I can't hear anything. Ah, what's going on? StreamYard? Okay, anyway, hey, I'm back. I guess I don't know what's going on with the music again. Um, but I'm here. Uh, hi, Angeline. How are you? What's up? Just pulling up an open panel for tonight. That's weird. Okay, well, I'll worry about it later. I don't know why the music wasn't playing. I hope everyone can hear me. Let's see. First, let's look at the world. Ooh. U.S. personnel injured in suspected rocket attack on Al-Assad Air Base in Iraq. Ooh. All right, let's take a closer look at this. A rocket attack at an Iraqi military base injures U.S. personnel. I guess that's all the that's all it says. Kamala Harris is about to pick her VP. Walls and Shapiro. Who are they? Bangladesh still has the protest. Ooh, the prime minister reportedly flees the nation. Wow. She has to leave the country? That's is Bangladesh a democracy? Is Oh, okay. Cool. As long as the audience can hear me. Um is this the breakdown of some kind of system? Like how I don't know. I'm so naive and out of touch with like I wouldn't even call it normal politics because normal politics to me is people just living their lives, doing their own thing, and keeping their country going. But the stuff we're seeing in Bangladesh and the unrest that we see here in the States, UK is having riots, all of that stuff, is that the breakdown of some kind of political system or part of our political system, or is it just normal? Is it just cycles of it happens now and then? I don't know enough to know. It seems like when people get really angry about something, whether it's perceived or actual, um, they can get all fired up about it and find others that are equally fired up and create a mass crowd. And then I don't know where it goes from there. Like a collective anger or outrage. To me, that's so last resort. I would only do that if I had tried every other avenue I possibly could to get some kind of resolution. I'm just not. I've never been into violence as a solution, like for solving things. If you have to solve them by violence, the problem is way bigger. Like you're the problem you're trying to solve is way runs way deeper than just the initial, I mean, the particular event that you're trying to solve with violence at that time. So if you've gotten to the point of violence, there's something more going on because there's so many other ways to address things before violence. Now, I'm not talking about like self-defense or if you're being attacked or if you're like, I don't know, hiking out in the mountains and there's a bear or a mountain lion. I'm sure in the moment you would probably resort to violence just as a very initial possibility. I just meant, I guess, politics and society. Hey, Daniel Barry, welcome, welcome. Sports highlights. I don't know. Unless protesting is a sport, I don't. I don't know any highlights. Oh, so anyway, that was all the news I saw. Let me check Twitter. Yeah, there is a. I don't know if I want to play it because I don't know if I want to give him airtime. But it was these really obnoxious researchers that would interview people. Um, they were academics and they were interviewing people for a research project, and they got caught on a hot mic talking about the person they had just interviewed and like trashing him and being real condescending. And the thing that struck me about the video the most is that's how the people, when I talk about the people up here, this is the type of people they are. They're very sheltered, very arrogant, very convinced that their way is the way, and they're very out of touch with anybody that falls outside of that. And they I don't even think they realize it or know they're doing it, but they exude disdain or contempt when they're around people that are not like themselves. And even my ex had some of that. He had a lot of that actually. And so that's one of the first things I noticed when I came up here. And I had never, that class of people or type of people, I had never been around them before really. And so that's what that video reminded me of. I just don't want to play it because it's audio really, it's not video. Um, Hi Sandeep. I'm just killing time till panel shows up really. Oh, morning. So it's morning where you are. Let me see if there's anything else. Oh, this was in Harlem. The people they were interviewing. All right, I guess that's all the tweets. And we'll look at who's streaming. Jamie, Steve. That's about it. Oh my God, it's. Oh, I had no idea it was so late. I thought it was like 5 or 6 in the afternoon. I honestly did. I got laid up with a giant headache today, and slept a lot. So I feel like my day is just getting started. And I looked at the clock, and it's almost 10 o'clock over here. This is the late night hour. Jamie's been fighting some battles too. Hi, Crispy. What's up? Oh, hey, Philip. That painting. Oh, that hang on, let me turn this off. A friend of mine's mom painted that. She took an art class, and this is in Louisiana, so it's like swamp scenes and stuff. And she took an art class, and they did a bunch of paintings in the art class, and she gave us all each one of her paintings, and it was very special to me. That I was very touched that I got an actual piece of art from somebody, and I've had it ever since. It's like my little taste of home. I have a few little items and trinkets and posters and stuff that kind of remind me of home that I keep around. That's one of them. Hey Bex, what's up? Just I was doing something or oh, I don't remember. Anyway, I'm just waiting for the people. Really, this is like Halloween when you wait for the kids to show up and start trick or treating. You either see like hear the cars or see the car lights, but more often than not, you can hear their voices up the street as they approach you. You can just sense kid at Halloween when you're sitting in your house waiting. I can sense the kids when they're starting to come around. Um, hang on, let me. Why isn't this working? Hang, is is blinking out. I'll wait till it comes back. It's low bars. This might be a slow night, literally. Um, no, what is the opposite of a hoarder? I go out of my way not to accumulate junk, and every time I move, which it used to be often, I would go through my stuff each time when I was packing, and like, what can I throw out? What do I not need to take with me on this next move? So each move, my stuff would get gradually pared down. I mostly most of my life, everything I own fit in a car, like a just economy car, like mid-sized economy car. I made sure I purposely kept my life to the level where I could pack it all in a car anytime I needed to and move on. Oh, you can come up too if you want, Plasma. Anybody can. Hey, Axis, the chat bonfire. Hopefully, it's a cozy bonfire tonight and not a conflagration. I guess ultimately that's up to me. I'm the one that manages the panel, so um, I'm a pragmatist. I like practical. I like to keep things around that are useful, that have I'm not big into aesthetic or having things look a certain way. They just have to be useful. I need a desk that works, a chair that's useful, set of bookshelves that hold the books, that kind of stuff. And so as long as it meets that requirement, and I don't have a lot of extra stuff. So I like if I need it, I have it. But if I don't need it, I don't keep it around. It just takes up space. So almost everything that I have, furniture wise and decor wise, serves some kind of purpose. I'm not. I have. I was going to be an interior designer, believe it or not, and I have a year and a half of interior design at the college level, the university level, and we did fabrics and house plans and housing and furniture, and we went to different like real estate companies and studied their home. We did all kinds of. It was intensive. We did even. I even remember I took a course where we had to go help Habitat Humanity actually remodel. Like they were taking an old home, like the shell of a house, and they were fixing it up so that a family could move in, and we got to go help. We were there from morning until evening, all day, helping them with that house. So it was stuff like that too. And so I studied it, and I know the principles behind it, and I know how to do it. I just have no motivation on my own to do. I don't. I'm not very. I'm not very visual to begin with. I'm not spatially oriented, so I don't care what my space looks like. I don't go out of my way to do anything particular with it. Let's see. Please play song Machinga. Um, it's probably copyrighted. Aesthetics. Aesthetics is what I've been doing pretty much since COVID. Um, Aesthetics. I'm very much into aesthetics. I'm just not visual. My aesthetics are like music, books, YouTube streams, stuff like that. But fashion and decorating, I have never cared about that ever, ever, ever. Growing up, I wore whatever my mom brought home, usually from the dollar store, or sometimes it was on sale at Walmart or something. Whatever she brought home, I put on my body. I didn't care. I didn't know what looked good or what didn't. I just wore whatever people said, here, put this on. I remember growing up, though, they had the Garanimals, which was, I had a lot of those, and those were really useful. And in many ways, I don't think that my clothing or fashion sense has progressed beyond Garanimals yet because I was so handicapped by them. But you had the shirts and the pants. It was sometimes it was shorts or long pants, and they had these animal tags on them. And so if the shirt tag matched the bottom tag, then you knew that the clothes matched. So if you had like a hippo shirt and some hippo shorts, then that was a match, and you knew you could put that on and it looked good. Or if you had like the lion shirt with the pair of lion jeans with the lion tag, that was a match. And so I knew how to match my Garanimal clothes, and that's as far as I got. Hey, Spike. Unless it involved punk, alternative, or punk looks and that kind of stuff, I was good at putting those together. Okay, I'm going to bring on a guest. Somebody that we haven't spoken to in a while. Angeline, what's up?
What's up? Hey,
How are you?
good. I'm pretty good.
What's been going on? I haven't seen you or Jesse around lately.
Yeah, just been really busy growing lots of food and stuff, so that keeps you kind of busy.
Oh, wow.
Got big gardens and garden plots going, so
What
fun.
is that a background or is that's just a background? Oh, you did something with your hair too.
Oh, it's a green screen. Yeah,
Oh, okay. It all goes together.
yeah, my
The
hair is
hair,
blue.
the background. Yeah. Oh, it looks good.
Thanks.
Oh.
Yeah, it was an accidental blue, but a happy accident. I don't
Yeah,
mind
oh,
it.
I think it looks great. Yeah.
Thanks. That's really cool. You were into interior decorating stuff, and you did all that. I used to really be into that kind of stuff too.
Yeah, I was gonna try to make a career of it. I was serious about it at the time. And what what started to turn me away was I took a drafting class, and you had to draw your letters, and they had to be perfect, and you had to practice them every night. So like if you drew an A, it had to look like a typewriter A. And she was so picky about, and I have dyspraxia. I don't have the level of coordination and fine muscle control that it takes to make those letters perfect. And I tried and I tried and I tried, and they were never good enough, ever, ever, ever. And she kept rejecting them, rejecting them. And I told her, I said, computers are going to be doing this, and why do we even have to learn this? Computers are going to be doing this. And she said, if you can't draw your letters, you can't pass the class. And if I couldn't pass that class, I couldn't finish with a degree. So because of just drawing those letters, that was the one barrier, and I couldn't overcome it. And I thought it was stupid. I thought it was a waste of time because it had nothing to do with what we were actually going to be doing once we graduated.
Hmm.
And so I changed my major.
I had an auntie that did calligraphy, and yeah, she actually, lots of people wanted her to do it for them. And used to run a flourish shop with her, so I got to learn a lot of that stuff. And
Oh, wow.
my whole family was really big into like decorating and perfection and all that kind of stuff. And being a person with like ADHD and stuff, I like never fit the mold.
Yep.
But I still had fun with it. Like it was fun to like make things pretty, make them cool, make like think of all that stuff. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It was fun as a kid too. Like I think I was more into it as a kid. I had my own room. I did quirky things. I hung weird things on the wall and made it my space, and that was fun. I had a bead curtain.
A bee curtain?
A bead curtain like the
Oh,
hippies had
bees.
in the 60s.
I
Yeah.
thought you said bee.
No.
I was like, you were ahead of your time. You were already into the bees and saving the bees.
Uh,
Yeah.
the first 10 minutes of every class. The first. Oh, and you had. Oh, God, I hated that. Oh, my God. That was. It felt like a punishment. Like if I wanted to punish kids at school, I would make them do their drafting letters, and they'd have to be perfect. It felt like a punishment. I can't. I can't operate that level of precision. I don't have the. I can't do it. I don't have the brain body connection power to do it. And I
Mm.
could do the like what is it, the maps, the designs, the plans, the floor plans. I could do all
Yep.
of that just fine. Like with the ruler, you could make your line straight. It was the damn letters. You couldn't even use a ruler. I remember you could not even use a ruler to draw the lines on your letters. They all had to be by hand.
Hmm. Huh. Well, guess you work on those fine motor skills. Yep.
So what are you is Jesse still doing the houses? Like
The houses?
yeah, he was painting some houses or repairing some
Um,
houses.
like he can still do that. He's uh not currently, but he'll help with some things sometimes.
Do y'all still do the panel
Right.
raves?
I haven't
The
done it. I
high
haven't done it in
vibe
a long
love
time.
tribe?
Overdue, I think it's overdue. Gotta get in some dancing.
I
I've
think
been,
so. Yeah, we need another
yeah,
one.
really
It's
been wanting to dance. So, yeah, it's good. It's good for the spirit. Definitely increases
hmm
those happy hormones and all that fun stuff and gets you some exercise and raises
It
the
does.
energy.
If you haven't panel danced before, it is a workout. Those of you looking for some activity or some cardio or something, it's fun and you will
Yeah,
sweat and you will feel it, but in a good way. So
it is
we
fun.
let's do one soon, and we can get some people involved.
And it's so fun. Everybody plays with their lights and everybody gets goofy and everybody grabs weird props and it's just silly. Just kind of throw it all to the wind and have fun.
Yep, I love that. I think that's healthy. I think that's very mentally healthy. Yeah,
It
it
is.
did. That's
Yeah.
I thought it was. It looked real. It didn't look like she had something she had designed and that she
It's
sits in
like a
front
flower.
of. Yeah,
It's a glowy flower.
yeah, and it goes with the hair and everything. So
Yeah, I
it's a
love the
good look.
background. It's so cool.
It is.
Yeah. And lots of people say I'm like a fairy because I'm like so short and stuff. My daughter's like a fairy. She's even tinier, but
Oh,
yep. fun.
Is she into fairies?
Not so much anymore. Used to be. Kind of hitting the teenage stage now. She's my youngest. She's 13. So my oldest is 20 now. So
Oh wow, you you seem so young yourself.
no, I'm 42. I'm
Oh
42.
my
I got
god.
my kiddos
Oh
are
god.
my kiddos are getting older, but they're still like my best friends. My kiddos.
What fuck was it? I lost it. I'm sorry. It'll come back. Oh yeah, what are teenagers into now? What is the trend? What are modern teenagers like?
My teenagers are different. They were home educated their whole lives, so
Oh.
we're a tight family. And but the internet is a pretty big influence. Yeah, their
So like
music,
TikTok,
their
are they
use of
TikTok
words,
generation?
their TikTokers,
Oh.
yeah, that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's a pretty big thing.
Are
A
they
lot of
are they
cry.
are they normal people though? Like are is the rest of the world going to be able to relate to them as they get older and enter the workforce and society? Or are they going to be weird?
No, I don't. They actually get along with so many people just because they grew up around all ages, adults, kids, everything. And like my oldest daughter, like people just want her to work with them so much just because she's so good with people, right? And yeah, and they're just super lovely. Like they're really kind, they're really welcoming. She loves to make people laugh, and so yeah,
So it might not
I
be
think
so
they're
bad.
great. No. I mean every homeschool is going to be different, right? A lot of it is still very Christianese. That's where a lot of the homeschool movement came out of. So you do get a lot of you, but more of the, especially since the whole Jabberwocky thing hit. A lot more people dove into it, and it's like not a small thing anymore. It's huge. I
Yeah.
mean, just in my city alone, there's 10,000 homeschoolers, and businesses love it because you can take your kids to all these classes and stuff during the day that normally they wouldn't make any money on because everyone's in school and blah blah blah, right?
Oh, that's
So
right.
we get to go to like swimming classes and museums and like all the like you just yeah, I used to run a huge homeschool group. We had about 100 families in it, and we just take over places. That's what we do all day long. It was fun.
And it's getting more diverse now. Like you said, it's not just
Yeah,
Christian bait. Like
absolutely.
everybody that's dissatisfied with the school system now is turning to homeschooling.
Yep.
Philip, what was the Trump event? Did something happen? And you're Canadian, right?
Yeah.
What do you know about a Trump event?
I know there was that shooting thing. Is that what he's talking about?
I don't know. That's the only like really big event I know
Yeah,
of
there's
in
always
recent
some
weeks.
event going on.
Unless
I
he
don't
it's
know.
Trump though. Anything he could have happened. He could have done something today. The Butler rally. Is that the
Is that where he got shot at?
assassination attempt?
I don't know.
The
I think the
fist?
whole
Is that the
thing
fist?
I think the whole thing is retarded. I
Oh.
don't know. I don't really have much more to say on it than that.
That's good. That's very base for Canadian. We get some Canadians around here that think they have the United States analyzed better than the people that live in it themselves.
Yeah, it's quite the show, anyways.
I'm prepared for anything.
Mm-hmm.
Anything except for political violence. I think that I don't think we're at that point and we don't need to neither side needs to engage in that if the election doesn't go their way. But
Yeah.
there'll probably be some chaos. But there was chaos when Trump got elected too.
Well, that's what they want, I think. In general, they would like chaos, right? Anything to stir up chaos gives them more opportunity to step in with their solutions and plans and whatever. Like it's all a plan. Just not getting sucked into it.
That's probably healthy to. I do notice just roughly, just anecdotally, that the people that are less involved in the internet these days seem like the more healthier and well-adjusted people, and the people that spend more time on the internet seem more stressed out and anxious and confused and unsure about the world.
It's feeding the right wolf, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the
Um, uh,
garden's been keeping me good and busy, so that helps, right? And it makes you feel empowered. Like if people just go and do something that makes them feel empowered instead of like victim of all this crap going on around them. Like go do something to empower yourself, right?
I wonder if the victim crap is what makes them feel empowered, and then that keeps them from going and doing something because they feel like they're doing something powerful and it's easy and lazy.
Maybe. Could be a trauma loop too, right? A lot of
Oh
people are
yeah.
stuck in a lot of trauma loops, so if their brain's wired towards more fear because of trauma or whatever, then you get addicted to it because your brain is like literally an organ there to try and figure stuff out to keep you safe. So if shit is being thrown out there all the time, you're going to get addicted to it because your brain's going to be constantly wanting to know everything to try and keep you safe. But it's bad because you can actually start to wire your brain to it. So you got to get out there and do something different. You got to detach from it, at least on some level. Don't let it become the thing that takes you over, right?
Yes. Yes, I agree to all of that. The hard part is that when you spend the more time you spend here, because this is kind of its own little world with its own type of people, the harder it is to make the connections in ordinary life because ordinary life seems less and less relatable. It's just two different types of, like, I don't find the people in real life that I find here on the YouTube. And
Mm.
so it creates two different like senses of people and it makes it harder to interface with people outside of the internet.
Well, they're out there. Are you on Facebook or anything at all?
Yeah, I am mostly friends and family. I don't use it for
So,
anything
so you can
outside
start
of that.
using it for events too. So find events with people who have things
Oh
in
yeah,
common. Like,
I have
yeah,
done some of that. Yeah, but like I guess what I'm saying is even if I'm at these events, I don't relate to any of the people because they're not like the people I've been spending all my internet time with. Like we don't talk about the same stuff. We can't have the same conversations. It's awkward. It's forced. We don't have the same reference points anymore. Like I don't know half the stuff they're talking about because it's all local stuff, and they don't know any of the stuff I'm talking about because it's all panelverse and internet stuff.
mm,
So it makes it's like the more time you spend here, the harder it is to relate as easily
it's
to the
also
real
going to
world.
be an adjustment on the nervous system because, again, the more you do something, the more you're wired to it, and the more uncomfortable it is to go elsewhere, right? So it's going to take a bit, I think, not for anybody, for everybody who's really been stuck on this, which is a lot of people, especially with all the lockdowns and all that. A lot of people are stuck on this. So it's actually going to take a while to adjust to actually being out there again. But, one thing I've learned is that there's a lot more of us out there than we think so in our heads. Like, we think it's all online and that we've met people online, but there's actually a lot of us out there and they're just as awkward as we are. And you just got to find them and like start hanging out and start doing things together, whatever it is. Go for a walk, have a
Yeah.
fire, like,
I will say once you break that initial inertia and get out and do the thing, it helps right away. Like you notice it right away that oh my god, this is so healthy. I need to do more of this.
yeah.
It's just getting out of one state into the other. Like making that leap to
Mm-hmm.
just doing it. But once you do it, it's absolutely the right thing to do.
And I think forgive me if I'm wrong, if I'm thinking of something else, but didn't you mention before too that you were neurodivergent in a way as well? Like you have
Oh yes.
in
Yeah.
which ways?
Probably all of them. It's autism, PDD-NOS specifically,
Yeah.
giftedness, ADHD.
Mm-hmm. My son is borderline autistic as well, and I totally get it. So that makes an extra leap for you, right? That
Oh
makes
yeah,
an
you're right. Even without the
definitely.
internet, yeah. In
I
fact,
would
what
definitely.
I think that's part of the issue because the internet makes it so much easier for people like me and Hank and all the other Spurgs that show up on here to socialize in ways we can't in person. Like we can't go out in person and do what we do here on the internet.
Yeah.
And so it like gives us a it opens up possibilities for us that we just don't get in real life because of the weirdness, like the impression we make on people in real life and the group dynamics that sets off and everything. For some reason, this platform, this medium, helps to overcome that. So it disincentivizes even bothering to try to interact in person. If we don't have to deal with all that, we can come here and have it go more smoothly. That's going to be the more appealing option. And so that makes it hard too. But you're right, even without the internet, it is hard socializing in general up here.
You
For
need an
me
outgoing
personally.
friend. You need an
Huh?
outgoing friend. So like I had an outgoing friend for many years and I was so introverted. I have a lot of things that I've gotten a lot better and I have ADHD, I have CPTSD, I have anxiety disorders, all this stuff. And I had this friend that was just so outgoing and they weren't afraid of anything. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, if they could say that and do that and get away with this and they're still alive." It was kind of teaching me that I'm okay. Right? Like just seeing that all the time, having this person just be so out there where you're just like, oh my gosh, right? What are you doing? Like, why did you say that? Like, why are you doing that? Where you just want to like go hide in a hidey hole, right? And but it was the exposure therapy. Like it made me realize the world wasn't so scary and people weren't so scary and and over time I started being like, okay, I'm okay. I can do this. And the problem is though with like a lot of neurodivergent people is if you don't do it regularly, you'll go right back into that
Yeah.
hidey hole and it's really hard to come out of. So I haven't gone online in a while and it's like been freaking me out because I'd like to get back on again and I actually been avoiding it just because of the anxiety. So this is the second time I stepped out on a panel in months. Uh, so yeah, and I like this panel because it's like seems to be one of the only sane ones out there. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my
Very
God.
few
It's
out
if
there
that's the
that
standard. Well,
aren't
so
drama wise. You know what I mean?
I
Like
try
just
very hard.
drama. So
Do you have anxiety about coming on the panels or like
oh,
doing
I
the YouTube
definitely
thing?
get anxiety. So
Oh my God, because you seem so in fact, your energy relaxes other people when you're on panels. So
I
you seem so
tend to
grounded
do
and
that.
relaxed
Yeah.
when you're on here that none of that shows at all. I was surprised to hear that.
Okay, it's just for like when I'm getting ready to come on and I'm trying to convince myself to come on. And for the first few minutes of being on, I'll tell you my heart is going thump, 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 thump.
Oh,
And then
okay.
it calms down. But I can still be here. I learned to be kind of, I can show up despite my anxiety a lot of time. Unless it's like full blown panic attack or something, then I'm gone. But that doesn't usually happen very often anymore. So yeah.
Philip, I would say that I know many neurotypical people that lack the ability to grow, learn, and understand their emotions. I would say it depends on the person, and I wouldn't necessarily correlate it with the autism. Although with things like or ADHD in particular, with the executive functioning, it can make processing. You need a certain amount of executive functioning to process the emotions
Yeah.
in the same way that neurotypicals do. So without that executive functioning, or if it's lesser or something like that, that could maybe impact how they grow from their emotions. But I, I would assume that ability in anyone, pretty much, absent some extreme edge case.
The executive functioning part of the brain in ADHD does not work as well as the typical. But
Yeah,
it's like,
it's
for me, it's like trying to wrap my thoughts around what I'm doing when it comes to like paperwork and stuff like that. I have a really hard time organizing my steps and things like that. That's where it really bites me in the ass. And then but like for my son, some things we learned too is he has a hard time understanding emotions, but then also checking in with what's going on with him. So he was seeing a um, we were seeing a psychologist for a while so he could learn some skills and whatever. And one thing he learned that became a big life skill for him was paying attention to his body. Because even though he's not feeling his emotions, often his body is speaking loud and clear, like his stomach will hurt or he'll, right? So he had to start listening to his body to see how something's affecting him emotionally because he wasn't quite cluing into the emotions part of it, right? So that was really big for him.
wow. That's really helpful, actually.
Yeah. Yeah,
Eh,
because a situation can be going down and he'll just be sitting there
yeah.
and I'll be like, "Are you okay?" And he just thinks, "Yeah, I'm okay," because he's not really tuned into the emotions. But then if he tunes into his body, he's like, "Okay, I'm okay, but my stomach's hurting, or I'm a little bit shaky, or I notice this." Like, so he's got to pay attention what's going on with his body to kind of clue in what's going on with him instead.
And then it's also like because he's not in touch with his own emotions, he has a hard time understanding them from other people.
Actually, like he has a hard time catching on to them, but he deals with them so well. Like that is my guy I go to when I'm like emotional because he is so grounded. He's
Oh
just
yeah.
like I'll be like, what about something, and he'll be like, oh well, ABCD. This is just common sense. Here's the logic. Blah blah. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need you in my life. Thank you.
Uh,
Bring me back to the logic when I'm in my emotion, right? So yeah, it's
so
really awesome.
someone mentioned yesterday they sent me a video about Dr. Spock, Mr. Spock, Star Trek guy
Mm-hmm.
having he's like pure logic and it was clips of him having emotions and what it looks like when he has an emotion. But the it looked like really bad acting. It was just even if he whatever emotion he was having, his attempt to act out the emotion was so bad that it overwhelmed everything else about the clips. Spike is. I just looked it up. It's about. Is it a real like a reality movie or a fiction movie? It's about a bunch of autistic people that live together. I definitely want to see it. We could watch it in the Discord. In fact, the As We See It show.
Funny you brought up Spock because as a teenager, that was my nickname. My friends all called me Spock because I would not have any emotions. So
Are you serious?
when
They called you Spock because of that?
yeah, they took me to a comedy thing once and the guy was hilarious and I just didn't laugh through the whole thing. And then my friend's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, and I didn't even realize that I'm like laughing in my head. Like I think it's hilarious, but I didn't even realize that I'm not like laughing out loud, that I was like kind of stone faced, but I was having a great time. So I was like, yeah, I'm fine. Eventually they got to know me. I just really learned to like kind of super control that stuff.
Because
So
we
it was,
don't know like how we're coming across in our own head is different from how we're coming across to other people. We don't always know
yeah.
how we're coming across to other people. There's
And
not really a
88,
way to know that because the way we're coming across to ourselves is so different. Hey, Spike.
hey,
Howdy.
Spike.
Hey, Angeline. I don't want to. I'm having a good time listening, and I had the heartbeat like Angeline was explaining. Like, do I want to hop on panel? But I just wanted to shout out this TV show. It's really good. I thought it was really good. But to answer your question, so as we see it is a show where I'm pretty sure everyone on the cast is on the spectrum, which is great because my I when people are not on the spectrum and they play on the spectrum, it's kind of cringe to me. But these actors are all on the spectrum. One of them, Rick Glassman, is actually very high functioning. He's a stand up comedian. He has podcasts. So he's sort of a star outside of the TV world as far as like podcasts go. But the show is fantastic. It's about 6 or 7 adults who live in a home together, a co-ed home, and I loved it. It was, I think, 2 seasons. I think I watched it during the pandemic, and they were supposed to go the third season or fourth season, but they just never did. Bummer.
Oh.
But I have no relation to the show, but I just wanted to shout it out. It's a good watch.
I think I'm gonna start watching it in the Discord. I might start it tonight.
Yeah, I mean, and as we were talking about earlier, Jeff, I don't want to take over your panel, but
You're not.
as far as I go, being someone I was almost hired to run a group home for or a home for adults. I thought twice about it, but it was very cool to watch like the one worker who isn't on the spectrum, the actress who played the lady who is taking care, monitoring the home. Just the whole show is really cool if you're into that type of thing, which you probably are. But
I am. I've always liked that motto. In fact, when I worked with autistic people, like the idea of a few autistic people getting together and like renting a place and living together, they understand each other's needs and they can help each other. I love that model.
yeah, helping each other cook meals or manage budgets. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very interesting. It's a good show.
Probably helps that they all probably have a little bit of OCD as well.
Yes.
It
And the
makes sense.
topic of like making out with the roommate kind of thing happens, which of course you got to have the romance going on. But just just watching how these very young adults are trying to adapt to normal things, like one guy is totally grossed out by girls, which is funny. One guy is totally in love with every girl he sees. It's just, yeah. And I think they have I think one of the neighbors has a fascination with Mountain Dew, which is a real thing I've noticed in the neurodivergent world. They love like the Jolt Colas, the super caffeine drinks, the Monster Energies. So anyway, I just wanted to hop up real quick and tell you all about that.
Yeah, thanks for turning me on to it. I think I'm going to watch it.
Cool. Well, I'm having fun listening, so please continue. I'm going to drop down. I'll probably back up if you need me. I'm here.
Okay. Or, I mean, you're welcome to hang out, but
Yeah.
whatever you feel like doing.
Okay. Well, I'll hang out. Yeah,
Just
no,
it's
no
just
rush.
open panel. It's not any
Yeah.
particular topic.
When I worked with OCD kids, there was this one boy who like memorized. There was two cool ones. One memorized the entire yellow pages, like the from front to back. They knew every number in it. And then another kid knew how to like assemble an entire elevator. Like they could put every part of this thing together. And I was just like, whoa, like these guys are amazing. But they really got to hyper focus on certain things, that's for sure, and they become like geniuses on them.
My
Yeah.
first introduction to, in the first few years when I was working in see, I'm from the old school. We didn't call it the spectrum, we called it autism. So it's hard for me to use the term the spectrum, but um, I was probably young, my young 20s, and he was in his 40s. And he would immediately come up to you and ask you your birthday, and he would know the exact song that was number one on the charts on the day of your birthday. He did it to everyone, very Rain Man-ish, very funny. He'd be like, you know, "Hello, Jeff. My name is Bill. What's your birthday?" Like it was the exact introduction every time, and he knew it. I mean, anywhere from like the 50s to the 80s, he knew everybody.
That's cool.
Yeah. Different. Uh, it's so hard to categorize because that's like something beyond what ordinary people can do. But people
Yes.
see it as a defect or a disability.
No,
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's a gift. they just function differently.
Yeah,
It's
just a
not
difference.
you just got to learn that we all function differently. So if
Yeah,
you learn how different people function, you work with that. It's not that anything's wrong.
yeah.
So I
I have
mean, there's
this
a big spectrum too. I mean, some of it is a lot harder than others, but yeah.
absolutely. I think they're going to save the world one day. I think that the spectrum will be what ends up
Like
fixing things.
Elon and Greta Thunberg.
Yeah, some like we're a few decades away, but they might be the ones that come up
I
with the
mean,
right
when
plans.
you mean when we're all running around crazy in our emotions and they're just like, "What the heck?" and they all step aside and go into logic and fix
Let
everything.
the Spurgs take it from here. We got
Yeah.
humanity's too much in crisis.
Yeah.
We need the
Yep.
Spocks. I think part of the problem, we definitely have talents or skills just like everybody else, but I think for neurotypicals the paths to actualizing those skills are pretty well carved out. For us, people can recognize some of the abilities, but it's managing us, interfacing, having us part of a workforce or a team, and sometimes that outweighs the benefit they get from the skills. And it's learning how to use us for our skills and overcoming all of the, I don't think of it as negative, but all of the challenges that come with integrating us with the rest of society.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Um,
I
there's
think
this couple I
there's
love to
very few
follow.
traits.
Tech seems to be one of them. If you have that type of brain, um, maybe the arts. I don't know, media, the arts. Um,
Very artistic. My son is my computer guy. I can't figure this out. He's got it in 2 seconds.
yeah.
Same with my daughter, but most teenagers, I guess, are these days. So I don't know. Um,
If they can stick you in a room working on something and not have to have like the people element doesn't come into it, that's easy. That they can get by with that, but it's the ones that where you have to mix them with people.
mhm.
Swimming. I remember because I used to do these programs in the summer where I lived with these kids, 300 kids. I mean, I was not just me, but it was a staff of us. But we would run these programs in the summertime, and almost every, I want to say every, but that's generalizing, but probably every autistic kid, fantastic swimmer. The ones that I was working with, they just love the pool. If not a swimmer, maybe a floater, but they love, I think it's like the womb. I think it's like one of those
Oh,
feelings like,
like like the gravity blankets,
yeah, I
that
think, yeah.
self-soothing feeling.
I follow this couple on. I follow them on Instagram, but they're just ADHD love, and she's got severe ADHD, and he's slightly autistic, and they're a couple, and just the way that they like work together is amazing, and I learned so much from them. Like they just understand and balance each other out so much, and I've been reading their new book called Small Talk, and I literally like I think the whole thing made me cry because it was just like light bulb after light bulb after light bulb moments of just helping you understand yourself and love yourself and learning how to work with you because we just function differently and so many of us don't even know how we function and then we like are trying to fit ourselves into the norm, into the neurotypical norm that everyone else is, or that majority of people are in society, when we're not wired like that. So then it becomes really hard, and we constantly beat ourselves up because we're like, why can't I just freaking do this like a normal person or blah? Like we just constantly on ourselves, and but when you understand how you work differently, you stop like hating yourself almost or stop being angry with yourself or stop being like what the heck is wrong with me or why can't I do this or blah 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 And when you realize your gifts, because you're usually so focused on the things you keep, like not being able to do the same, you realize just how incredible you are and that you just function differently. And when you know how you function, you can work with that to like accomplish huge things compared to just feeling stuck all the time, right? So,
What's the book
yeah,
called? Small Talk.
small talk. Yeah,
Let's
small
see
talk.
who's the author.
Oh, I don't have my phone on me right now. Let
I'll
me
try to
see.
find it.
If you just Google small talk ADHD, it should come up.
Is it The Art of Small Talk? A practical guide
No,
for
no,
autistic people.
it's black book.
Oh,
It's a black book,
ADHD.
and it's
Let me
got
see.
like a word bubble in the.
10 ADHD lies and how to stop believing them.
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay, I'm gonna put the
That's the
link.
one. It's so good, and that's the couple too that I like to follow. They're just absolutely hilarious to follow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's another perspective to freak. Like life, you, life is understood by living it. You get out there and you live it, and
Mm-hmm.
that's how you know it and figure it out. You don't like sit and try to figure it out and then go live it. What happened last night? If it's drama, just tell me on Discord. I'm trying to minimize. We're having such a great conversation right now on
You know,
neurodivergence.
a lot of women don't get diagnosed with ADHD when they have it because it doesn't show up obvious. Like in a lot of the males, they're kind of hyperactive and have a hard time focusing and like typical stuff. But for women, it usually is ADHD happening in their head. So their head is like constantly racing and running around and all over the place, and so they seem like calm, but they can't focus or they zone out or they go into other worlds or whatever. Like, and it's because it's all going on the inside for a lot of the women, and a lot of them don't get diagnosed till later in life, like when they're adults, and you start to figure it out.
And they say that it can present differently in women than men, and that women are better at masking, so they could
Masking, yeah.
mask it better.
And yeah, this book talks a lot about that and how once they understood what was going on, she was able to take off a lot of the masking and uh yeah, just that whole journey with that. So it was a really good book.
Yeah, that's that's the hard part is finding environments where you can take off the masking because people mask for a reason and there's
Yep.
consequences when you unmask and so having places where those consequences are reduced or eliminated so that the mask can start to come off because I think that's healthy
Hmm.
to not have to like being yourself is healthy.
Yeah, yeah. You need
Just like
people who
gay people learn, the
understand.
closet is not healthy. Like having to hide who you are to fit into society is not healthy.
Yeah, you have to yeah, you have to have people who understand and are willing to like learn about what your neurodivergent situation is so that they can understand you instead of keep misunderstanding and just create more chaos that causes you to mask more and more, right? Because we mask because we had people misunderstand our whole lives, and you can't heal until you have people in your life that kind of understand. And but first you have to understand yourself, because how do you help anyone understand if you don't even know what's going on and you're your worst enemy? Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? You're punishing yourself and frustrated with yourself until you understand. You can't help other people understand, but when you understand and then you start to attract people in your life that also get it, man, when you can start being yourself and not feel all that judgment and fear and all that stuff, like it's a whole other world, right? You can
It's
shine because
liberating.
yeah, you can shine in the way that you shine. So that's what I'm hoping for. I'm learning about this stuff all new too. I've just I was my diagnosis is pretty recent, and it just was like, holy macro, big
You
light
got it
bulb
as an
moments for
adult?
me. Yeah, I did, yeah, and, I was diagnosed with the complex PTSD, which I kind of already knew, but also the ADHD and stuff, and just makes a lot of sense, like, one thing my kids laugh about all the time is I will lose my phone, like, 100 times a day. I will
Oh
never
yeah.
every 10 minutes, "Do you guys know where my phone is? Where's my phone?" I don't know. It's just yeah,
Hey,
and
me, good to
learning,
see you. We'll
ah,
try to entertain you or at least stimulate you with something interesting while you while you work. Um.
hello, hello.
Oh, I had a oh, let's see. Oh, yeah, 'cause you're in Canada, right? Is the system there like how hard is it to get diagnoses as an adult? Do you have to go through the official healthcare system there to get it?
So it's expensive, and I just freaking lucked out because there was this psychology center that was training up the last few hours of students and allowing the students to shadow doing a bunch of these tests. And so they were taking in, like, they weren't publicizing it, but I had one person in there in that clinic already, and they were like, "Hey, we're opening up to this families in the clinics. We can do these free diagnoses, blah blah blah. It's done with professionals and whatever, and the students help and all that." And so I'm like, "Yeah, like friggin' we'll take all the tests, like free? Like, are you kidding me? It's like the hundreds of dollars for these freaking tests." So we got a whole bunch of stuff done. It was amazing and just yeah, is life changing because once you know, you can start to learn, right?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. That's one of the things that helped me the most is just understanding what it was, how the brain worked, the body worked, what to expect when each little trigger happened and set something off, and all of that. That helped almost more than anything in the beginning. Because it
Learning about the
normalized it. It wasn't something weird and freaky that was happening to you. It was a completely normal physiological process. And that once you understood your particular process, your pattern, then all or a lot of that confusion just goes away.
yeah, learning
At
about
least for
the
yourself. It
dopamine
still gets confusing for other people.
learning about the dopamine drops was big for me and body doubling, like, holy macro body doubling freaking changed my life.
We have a
Like,
body doubling channel in the Discord. If anybody needs body doubles, just go in there and put in a request.
Wait, what
okay,
is
I
this?
definitely gotta
Educate
get
me.
that info.
What is that? Do you mind?
Um, so body doubling is like sometimes if you have ADHD and stuff, you have a hard time getting started. Like you feel kind of stuck or frozen. There's a lot of freezing going on and stuff. And if you have, there's like something that goes on in the brain that if somebody's around you doing something with you at the same time, you just go. Like you can just go. So like one thing I implemented in my house because my daughter also has ADHD is we made a cleaning day. So we're already expecting it. We can like where everybody in the house just cleans together and just because other people are cleaning, it gets you cleaning. And then as an ADHD person, you often get into hyper focus. So once you get going, you often can't stop, right? So this is like a mega cleaning day. So we're like, we're body doubling. We can't stop. Like we're going because everyone else is going and it makes us go. And then we can't stop. Like this house gets clean. I'll tell you that much. You got two hyper focused people and my son with the OCD and all that, like,
Oh
yep,
my
we get
god.
pretty good stuff going. So, but it was just to learn that was life changing because I was always stuck and everything was messy and I didn't know how to get my daughter going and it was just always felt chaotic, like a lot of anxiety around it, and I'd feel bad for making them do things and blah blah blah. But if we're all doing it together, just learning that little trick like changed my whole world, right?
Yeah,
So
I might need a body triple.
Yeah, like what Me's doing right now. She's working on things and she has us in the background. So it feels like on the internet and on Discord, you whatever work you're trying to do, you just sign on the internet and you have another person on the end to talk to or to just be there. You don't even have to always talk. But having another human around working on their thing while you're working on your thing helps both of you to get your thing done.
Mm-hmm. And the
Instigators
dopamine
like it.
thing, and the dopamine thing too. So if you have a really low dopamine task, putting a reward at the end of it can really help you. So like we're going to do this really hard thing and then we're going to go buy an ice cream after, right? Or like something. Just learning these little tricks and how our system works so that we can get ourselves out of those freeze states or those drop low states or like whatever it is, but also even with the drop states where we're like really low and we can't get ourselves going, to realize that we go through different cycles than normal people. So we go through mega hyper focus. We can't stop. We're going to use up a week's worth of energy all at once, kind of thing. And then we're like, I'm shut down. I'm recovering, blah, blah, right? And to learn that that's just the way we are, that we're still super productive instead of beating ourselves up in the down times, to remember how freaking productive we were in the high times and just realizing, okay, when I'm down, I need to let myself rest and not feel guilty for it because
Yes.
I know I'm about to hit another rush and I need to store up that energy for that rush. Like just learning this stuff about yourself it's completely life changing.
Learning your own because we learning your own cycle and working with your pattern. Like don't don't look at neurotypicals and then reference your cycle against their norms because yours is different. So learning what your particular cycle is and then how to work with that so that you
Yep.
maximize your flow.
Yep.
Positive prompts. I love it. It's just the instigators of optimism. That's the new band name. The instigators of optimism.
That that's almost punk enough to work. Um, and even as somebody who considers himself an optimist, there's something that still cringes when I hear that. The freak. What about how about intrinsic motivation for an incentive, where the group is internally motivated themselves to cooperate because of the benefits that they get from group cooperation? And
It's funny. Megan just said she thinks she might have developed adult ADHD in the last
I
years.
think everybody, the internet. I think everybody. We all have. It started out with Google Brain. Like nobody remembers anything because they could just look it up on Google, and then it turned into like Twitter attention span, and now it's like TikTok attention span. So I think that's happening to everybody. I notice even with the ADHD, my attention span has dropped dramatically from using the internet.
Yep. Yeah, it's true. I think just stress and anxiety too really affects the brain. It'll make you more forgetful, have more anxiety, more like flustered all over the place. Like, so, and a lot of us are in that anxiety and these days. So that also is going to trigger a lot of stuff, right? Make you feel a little bit more ADHD, I guess, in some ways.
I like what you said about like dropping into the body or tuning into the body, and because that is one of the weaknesses that proprioception and reading those small internal signals that come from our body because of the monotropism and the hyperfocus that gets all tuned out and filtered out, and so keeping grounded and centered in the body. I'm trying it right
Yeah.
now. Um, we'll see what happens. But I think that is I think that's I think we are our body. I don't think we're separate from our body, and I think
Oh, absolutely.
the body gets ignored. It's just kind of there because we're our thoughts and our mind and our emotions and all that other stuff, but I think we're our bodies. I think all of that is our body.
It's
Mm-hmm.
All,
true.
all I'm all I'm doing right now is stemming my legs and my feet are tingling. That's the only thing I'm getting from my body so far. My palms are a little sweaty.
So could that be for maybe being feeling tightness, maybe cutting off some circulation or
I don't know. I think I'm always tight because I don't think I'm like I hold myself tense just naturally. I don't have a relaxed body. I'm a shallow breather. I'm my body stays tensed and active in motion all the time.
so one of my kids we're talking about a person that we were gonna have to be around that nobody's really comfortable with uh and we're like so I was kind of dropping the bomb. This person needs to come and take care of some things and blah blah. And they all acted like they were fine with it. And then I saw my one child like kind of holding their stomach and being like looking really uncomfortable. And I'm like, hey, what's going on in your body right now when you heard that? Like when you heard this person's coming around and they're like, oh, I'm fine. I'm like, oh, really? Like you seem to be, how's your stomach doing? And they're like, oh, maybe
Their
I'm
body
not
knew.
fine. Yeah, right? Like they just to tune into the body because it's giving them a message that, they're not okay, even though in their
Yeah.
head they're like, of course I'm fine. Why wouldn't I be fine? But their body was starting to act up when they heard the news. And so to tune them into their body where they're like, oh, maybe I don't like this. Like maybe I'm not that okay with this. Like and then you can start to tune into that because they tuned into their body, right?
The body knows, and the body doesn't lie. And so all the stuff we like try to use our mind to figure out and think through it, the body already knows all of that. Like it knows it before, like
Yeah.
it knew his reaction before he even became aware of it from talking with you.
Yeah.
The gut
Yeah.
feeling.
Yeah, it's a body feeling. We call it gut, but we should be tuning into more than just the gut. We should be having an entire body feeling about things.
There's like a brain in our heart and a brain in our gut. And they'll tune into things before our brain even
Yeah, that's what
processes
I'm
it.
starting to fear. Which I don't know why I fear it, because if that's the case, that seems like even more helpful if you learn how to work with that.
You could always play with it sometime. Like if you're ever going for a walk or driving or whatever, just try to go off of feeling like left or right. Ooh, this one feels better. Let's try this. Let's see what happens. Let's see where we go. Or just could see what happens. Let it take you on a little adventure. But just fun ways to kind of tune into your body or some of that telepathic stuff, right? You can kind of use your body for that. The more you
That's
can
so.
tune in,
I'm still doing my. I really feel my feet more than anything. My feet are very heavy and in place, and I have all this sensation around my feet. But then everything between the head and the feet, I get nothing. I barely feel or sense at all.
maybe like grounded,
I do
maybe
feel
feeling
grounded.
grounded.
Yeah, I do. With the feet. In the feet.
I've been thinking of getting. Have you ever seen those? Excuse me, those bicycle pedals that you can have on the floor while you're at your desk.
Oh,
Do they go, it's just pedals or they're attached to a
It's
device that
just
you pedal?
it's just a little pedal. It's like the size of one of those foot massagers, but basically it's to get a little cardio, a little bit of circulation when you're at your desk. But I feel like it's almost a premeditated stim just to have those pedals down there. So
Oh yeah, yeah, I could see that. You said you were thinking about getting them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm at my desk enough where I'm like, well, maybe I could be fidgeting in a positive way somehow.
I have fidget everything. My purse is packed with more fidget toys than actual anything else. I got like silly putty in there and like all kinds
Oh,
of magnetic things, and I even have like my spinner ring and play with my bracelets, and I have to have some kind of outlet to fidget with. So
Philip, you're right. I'm not rocking. It feels very hard to rock right now.
That's good.
Like I have
well,
no impulse. I don't even think I could make myself rock if I wanted to, because my feet are just feel so stable and grounded. Look, do it a little bit, but I have to consciously do it. But as long as I'm focused on the feet and the body, like consciously, the rocking seems to not be there.
well, maybe this conversation is grounding for you because it's really at home, something like you know a lot about and that you like to talk about. Maybe it feels grounding.
It's the Zen vibe.
It is. Angeline, I don't know what you brought today, but this was this was some magic. Thank you. Lots of good stuff.
Yeah, it's good to talk about. It's something that needs to be talked about that I like to talk about too.
Yeah, me too, Philip. This is
It's not talked about enough.
and from us, like us talking about ourselves instead of other people always talking about us and telling us what we are.
Yeah, helpful things.
Yeah, this grounding thing feels really good. In fact, I hate to say it, but I think I'm getting more out of this than when I tried to talk to Jesus. This I'm getting more instant result. Like I can see immediate results from this. The talking to Jesus thing, I had to wait for something to happen and for it to I'm still kind of waiting. But this body thing I'm feeling right away.
Hmm. The really, really, that was a really, really good one to learn and good for my son to learn too. Um, Even paying attention to self care, so I really had to drill that in. Like, are
We're
you
bad about
hungry?
that.
Yeah, are you hungry? Are you hydrated? Things like that. Yeah, because you're not as in tune with the body, so you really have to like it's a skill you gotta build to always be checking in with the body. Yeah, yeah, really good. Now my son's the water police. I always hear him on the phone with his friends. Are you hydrated? Did you drink your
Uh,
water?
yeah, I'm constantly forgetting. That's how I got the headache today. I think it was dehydration from not getting enough fluids, and it's hot.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was
Go get
105
your
in the
water.
70s.
105. Oh wow.
So what? 105
Yeah, in
a.m.
LA. Mhm.
It's 11:52 here. Kind of
Dun,
weird.
dun.
No, like temperature wise.
Oh,
Oh, that's
never mind.
Fahrenheit. She's in Canada too, so it'd be Celsius.
We have
So it's hot.
mixed up everything.
105 is hot here. Boiling is 112.
Wow. Yep, that's hot.
Did you say it's 11:52 where you're at?
Yeah.
What part of Canada, may I ask?
I'm in Alberta.
So that's in the middle somewhere.
The
I
prairie.
don't know.
What's it called? The prairie provinces.
Yeah. You know what else comes with ADHD? Directional dyslexia. So don't ask me where I
Uh,
am. Yeah. Yeah, we had some really hot temperatures here too, like, and fires, like just crazy
Oh,
fires.
I saw. Yeah, y'all have the wildfires up there. I saw that.
And my uncle lives off grid, and he's been building cabins and stuff, and fire was all around him, and he refused to leave his property, and they evacuated everyone, and he just kept waving at the choppers and stuff that were picking up water from the stream near him and trying to put out the fires. And eventually it rained a bit and calmed down, like still burning, but I think it's under control now. And everything around him was burned, but his stuff, he didn't wind up having his stuff burned, which is good because I guess he didn't have insurance. So pretty scary. But in the end, one little cabin burned anyways, but the rest of the property was good. So
Wow,
yeah, it's been a little
that seems
crazy
scary.
here. And weird because it keeps saying, like, our forecast keeps saying that it's gonna rain, and then it doesn't rain. And over and over again, called for rain, calls for rain, and then the rain doesn't come. Or it only lasts for like a little sprinkle for like 1 minute that barely gets anything wet, and then it's gone. And I've never seen anything like this. It's just really creepy. Yeah.
I want to get off there, but it seems like the difference in what
Do what?
You're muffled. I think your mic is muffled.
microphone check.
Oh, there
Yeah.
you go.
Now you're here.
I would love to live off grid, but it's too easy to become a hermit. I would have to find somebody to live off grid with.
Does the like having this help the internet connection to people alleviate the hermitness and the loneliness? Because I thought of that too. Like as long as I had an internet, I wonder how lonely I would actually be.
Yeah, but I'm also in LA, so if I just go down the street, I'm amidst 500 people. So it's too easy to cheat. But um,
Oh yeah.
but yeah, like during lockdown, during the pandemic, that's actually when I stopped or started finding YouTube.
Yeah, me too. My whole social life moved online, and it's never moved off since.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
always done like social media, whether it was MySpace or Instagram or even TikTok, but YouTube became a place to find a community. Sort of like what you were saying about talking to Jesus. He doesn't talk back. That's sort of
Does
the
he? Is how do You're right. He doesn't talk back, does he? It feels like you're having a conversation, but he's not really saying anything. I just realized that. Does he ever? And then if he does, how would you know if it's really Jesus or just your own head imagining a conversation with Jesus?
Hmm.
He's very comforting to talk to. Like you could talk to him like you talk with a friend, but he doesn't really talk back. He just listens.
yeah. Even a pet,
Creepy.
even a dog or a cat will come up and snuggle you. You know, like. But I mean, to those who are religious, nothing disparaging. I'm sure that he talks back in his own way, but
It's the words in red. That's his. But the freak when you're actually having the inner experience of Jesus, and you're getting, because you get to know him through the scripture, but also internally, right? There's a personal. He can come into your heart or whatever, and when you're interacting with that Jesus, it wouldn't he talk back, or there be some kind of communication? What's the point of talking to a like just a ghost that just stands there and listens and then says, "Read my words in the Bible"?
see, I opened up the can of worms. I was
Oh
comparing
no, this is
YouTube to
this is a good
Jesus.
one.
Shame on me.
No, this is a. I like this. I like this can. I like
Well,
these
I'm sure you
worms.
do. No, but yeah, all I meant was like with YouTube, my best friend was my dog. But even my dog didn't really talk back when I'd vent to him and go on a rant. Um, but yeah, with like, I mean, I was pretty big on Instagram, but that was a one-way street. When I found the YouTube communities, I found out there are a lot of people that want to talk about things that I like to talk about.
It was
Megan's
more
one of them.
interactive.
Yeah, it's very yeah. That's the perfect word.
Yeah, that's
But
what did it for me too.
just in case you're listening, Jesus, I didn't mean to compare you to YouTube. We cool, right?
I actually came out of Christianity, but I'm not a Christian anymore. Had a lot of experiences, but once you like I took 4 years of biblical theology and history and cultural studies and read the Bible about 5 times in its original languages, and I didn't realize like just a lot of stuff didn't make sense, and I didn't realize that I was about to like study myself right out of the religion. That wasn't I was just trying to make sense of things, um and then you kind of get into studying energy, and at the time it was quantum physics was coming out, and just learning how we interpret that energy and feel that energy and try to put words to energy, because energy itself is just energy, right? And because I had a lot of experiences I had to make sense of. Like, I had a lot of healing, I had a lot of mystical experiences, I had a lot of encounters with this Jesus and all that. And so I had to figure out, I'm like, okay, if this isn't what I was taught it was, then what were these experiences? And then you kind of dive into that. And um, just realizing that everything is energy and then our interpretations of it. And then often we just fight over interpretations of it, right? Like, whatever we feel, we have to make sense of. So we have to have something, our brain has to grab whatever information it has to make sense of our experience. Sometimes when we're feeling something, it will bring up whatever we have in our, like, whether that was through subliminal messages, movies, religion, society. All this stuff has been put in us in one way or another that makes us exist. And then when we have an experience, like, there's been a lot of people who've had love experiences, energy experiences, things that felt amazing and beautiful and healing and loving. And then someone comes along and says, oh, well, that was Jesus. And then they're like, oh, that was Jesus. And then everything they feel from there on, they just interpret it as Jesus or Holy Spirit or whatever, right?
Because
And
it's a particular energy, and
it's just a
that's the name
feeling.
that gets associated with, yeah.
And
And
that's what
that's
we
the name
interpret
that
it
gets
as
Jesus is a feeling.
often. Yeah. And that feeling, our mind can make images and pictures and whatever, right? So some people will see Jesus or hear Jesus or however they process things. And like, I don't like knocking people, like, whatever they believe, whatever is helpful for you, great, that's beautiful. I'm not against it. I'm just saying that, like, the conversation is like, it's easy to talk to him because he probably feels safe, right? Like, if you have this image of Jesus that he's loving and safe and all this stuff, then that would be a really easy person to talk to, right?
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I went there, but I do have a lot of information in that area too. That's one of I get obsessed with things, hyper focus, all that. And my two areas was one was religion that wound up bringing me out of it, and the other is health that I really, really get big into that. So, hmm
Wow. My, I wasn't prepared for any of this tonight. There's so much that's happening as we talk.
hmm.
I'm still feeling the feet, the Jesus feeling, like Jesus being an emotion, and trying to tap into that is happening.
I
It's
like to
like
think
more than
of
just conversation is happening tonight. And I come on here thinking, oh, I'm gonna have conversations with all these interesting people, but there's something more than that happening right now or tonight.
oh,
Yes.
I like to think of God, source, Jesus, like whatever you want to call it, I like to think of it as just that life-giving energy, the energy that flows and gives us life. It's always flowing. It's always flowing, right? It's and it's our beliefs and different parts in us that either block that flowing or allow that flowing of the energy. So when we have certain beliefs, we can allow more of it to flow, which is the feeling, right? And when we have blocks or fears around what we're feeling or whatever, it's like hitting a rock wall, so it can feel more scary. Like, think of it like a child who feels something in their room, and one child is like, "Ooh, cool, this, like, there's a person in my room or something," and then another child's taught that, "Oh, if you feel something in your room, you need to pray because it's evil and scary and all this kind of stuff." So one kid might have like a pleasant experience and interpret it or visualize it or have an experience of something good. Um, Maybe an angel or a fairy or whatever, and then another kid will have the same energy in their room and be scared because of what they were had put information in their head, the information they have in their head, and resist that energy with the fear and have a horrible experience in their body and they're like feeling scared, la, 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 right? And then they're scared of all this stuff. So like our beliefs are the filter that energy comes through that either allows or resists and causes that dis-ease within us, right? And the more we resist life-giving energies or we're out of alignment with that flow, the sicker we get often, right? That's another reason to pay attention to the body because we can tell when we're in resistance to that life flowing energy flowing or when we're allowing it. Like we can feel that.
How do you get back into alignment with it if you discover that you're not? What are some ways to do that?
Well, if you want to talk about the body, one thing I learned is the body's yes and the body's no. So, when you're asked something, see if it feels expansive. See if it feels good in the body, like expansive, like right. And if it's a no, sometimes you'll feel your body kind of protecting itself, kind of like closing off. It doesn't feel like you're very big, right? And so that's one way to tell if you're doing the listening to your body thing, if it feels like a yes or a no for you, right? Or in alignment or out of alignment. Um, Sometimes it can be tricky because I mean, when I was in a lot of anxiety, everything felt like a no. You want me
Yeah.
to go out? I'm having anxiety. Like I was just in resistance to everything, so everything felt bad. So, I mean, so being aware of what is trauma and what is actually just telling us this feels good and this doesn't feel good is also something to be aware of too, right?
Yeah.
I think it can actually even be something as simple as when you put on that shirt or that hat or that pair of shoes and you're just standing a little bit straighter than normal, or you feel like your chest is a little bit deeper with the breaths, like you just feel your chin is up, like you're
Yeah,
ready to conquer the world, like that kind of.
yeah,
There's definitely days where my posture might be the same as yesterday, but my shirt is not fitting me the same way it did yesterday. Like I can, and I know it's something similar to that. Like I'm not feeling it the same. I think also
feeling is a
when I'm
big
outside of Los Angeles, I feel like that too.
You feel more in alignment?
Yeah, I feel definitely. Well, for example, I went out to Colorado a few years ago. I love Colorado. It's my little safe space. Um, but I had been wearing reading glasses for like that year. But when I was in Colorado, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if anything physically changed my body, but everything seemed better. Even the fact that I could read things without glasses in it, I just everything just felt better, and I think it was all um, a domino effect of little things that just made me breathe deeper and be stronger. It's similar to that. I'm probably off track here, but
But is your body having a different experience of LA? It sounds like that might be a clue that Colorado is the place for you, or at least for your body.
oh, that's very New Orleans of you. All of my friends in New Orleans keep telling me the roof you're under, you got to get out of there. Either come out to Louisiana or go to Colorado. And
I
I mean,
know that what you described about leaving LA, I felt about leaving Seattle. And the day I moved out of Seattle permanently and left the city, I knew I didn't have to go back. My mental health instantly improved, like 80 or 90%. Just that drastically just from getting out of the city.
Hmm.
yeah, and from what I know, you're not. I mean, you're from New Orleans, right? Or Louisiana, but New
Yeah,
Orleans.
Louisiana. I lived in I moved up here from New Orleans.
But as you were saying the other night, you had moved sort of just blindly and ended up in the big city
Yeah.
and had to readjust how to get to know people. For me, I wish I had that excuse because I'm born and raised in the LA area. But I think that what's happened is somewhere within the last decade, I think I'm over it. Just you've actually mentioned things in previous podcasts or streams recently. Like it's a little bit cliche. It's a little bit. It's not exactly true, but yeah, you go outside and everybody's an actor. Everybody's trying to make it here, and I'm born here, so it's like I'm not really of that vibe. I know that a lot of people move here to become something,
Yeah.
and when I just go to Walgreens or something, I don't want to be in the mix of all that attitude. I'd rather be like in Colorado, nobody knows your name. It's kind of just nobody cares what you're doing or what you've been up to. Nobody cares if you're well known or famous.
Are there other locals in LA that have the same experience and are kind of detached from the scene?
I think a lot of us who grew up here, because LA gets a bad rap, but I don't think it's the people who are born and raised here. I think it's the people that migrate here to.
Probably
I mean,
it's probably is it more transplants now than natives?
absolutely. I mean, especially as we get older. Yeah, I've noticed most of my friends I've grown up with have moved to other places. Three of them being New Orleans.
It's definitely an interesting city. It has its own issues, but I don't know. I'd probably pick it over LA right now, at least. But Colorado too. I mean, have you been to New Orleans at all?
No, but that's actually it's funny because I've kind of always wanted to go. I think ever since I don't know. I think there was a movie when I was like a young kid, but that was also a place my mom always wanted to go. My mom's no longer here, but that was one of the things like in the last decade of her earthboundedness that she just always said, I want to go to New Orleans. So without getting mushy, part of me wants to go to New Orleans because she never did. You know?
You could try it and see how. I'm thinking about the body thing and how you describe Colorado. So you could give New Orleans a try, like go for a visit and then see what happens to your body and compare it to Colorado. But it definitely sounds like because that happened to me too. I got stuck up here and I just got resigned to being here, and so my body adjusted. But then I went home to Louisiana last year and I had the time of my life, and I felt normal. My
Hmm.
body felt normal. I could walk out of my house and I was around people that I just felt normal around. And so when I came up here and I got reacclimated to being up here, that feeling kind of wore off, but like that feeling of your body being in the right place.
Hmm.
But then I got used to being here, so my body is just kind of numb or neutral. But I know deep down, if I tune into it, there's a lot of resistance to being here. I just don't allow myself to feel it. So that could be what's happening in LA. Like your body knows that it doesn't belong there, and you just repress all of that or numb it, and don't feel any of it. So you're not aware of just how much your body knows that that's not where it belongs.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
And I've known that
And
for a while because every time I leave this place and come back here, even for like a day trip, I have that feeling. Like it's not that I'm not in a negative environment. I'm just stagnating. The what I need to be doing, the excitement, the things that feed me, the things that energize my body are not here. I just need
hmm
to go closer to where they are.
Is
And
that the
this is not where that is. But it's not a negative environment like Seattle was, where my body was actively having to fight and resist every day just to
mm,
be in that city.
yeah. A lot of times people are in situations that they just made their body get used to, even though they're not thriving and flowing in it. It's like sometimes we're in a situation for so long, we don't even know that how we feel isn't normal
Yeah.
until we're out of it. Like we just think this is normal. And then you get somewhere else or around different people or a different environment and you're like, whoa, okay, this is where I belong. This is where it's flowing. This is like I'm like it feels so different that when you go back to what you were in, it just becomes almost impossible to stay there because now you're awakened to the fact that this
Mhm.
is wrong, like something's wrong here. Yeah.
Yeah. I, I I I'm comfortable here. That's the problem. I have my little nest that I could stream from, and it's comfortable. It's stasis. But I've known for a while I don't belong here. And so if I actually want to do more than just be comfortable and exist, I think I do need to take my body somewhere else.
If you keep following the little things that kind of energize you and light you up and help you to flow, oftentimes it will bring you to where you need to be. So just keep being open, keep like being in the things that light up, bring up your energy and help you to flow. And a lot of times the stuff that we don't know how to get to will find its way into our lives when we do that, when we just keep going towards the things that light us up.
And Jesus, I'm still gonna see if he has anything to say. Moose, we have to take care of each other. We are all connected. Have you seen some of the people on this YouTube that come on these streams and some of the people in the Panelverse? That's a hard sell. That really is. Sometimes that happened a little bit in Vegas, where a lot of the California culture started to come. But Vegas didn't really have a native culture to begin with, and in many ways it kind of improved it. But it also changed it a little bit, and I that happened in Seattle too, way back, because they hate Californians up here, and I'm being told it's happening in Austin and some of the Texas cities now too.
Austin? Little parts of my brain want to live in different places of the world, but part of me wants to go to Austin. I've thought about going up in the Pacific Northwest. I've thought about Canada. I was in Canada once, but
Why don't you just travel, like do a road trip or
yeah,
something? What do you do anything that lets you be mobile or work remotely?
fortunately, yeah, I've done my own business. Um, so one of my major things was going on a road trip, an extended road trip, going up the I-70 through Colorado down into Tennessee. My sister moved to Tennessee 2 years ago. She loves it. I think it's the same LA thing or Seattle thing, like just out of the city and
Mm-hmm.
raising chickens and has a little tiny. not a farm, but a real farm, a real garden. Which for us LA folk, that's a good dream. So yeah, I was gonna take my dog, rest in peace Harley, but I was gonna take him on a long road trip and just drive for probably 2 months.
You could stream it or something.
Yeah, I was gonna try and do like a
I've been wanting to do a cross country podcast where I just take off and chat with people along the way.
yeah,
And
like
then
maybe
that
I
would
was
give you a chance to like sample different areas and get a sense of.
right before I stake my flag or put my flag in the ground. Even when I had a piece of property up in Nevada near Vegas, not Vegas, but about an hour's away. And just going up there, even though it's hot and dry, but just yeah, I feel now I'm having a therapy session, but yeah, I just feel like when I'm out of LA,
Therapist.
it's just everything is healthier, whether it's mind and body or spirit. It's just everything is better. I'm a little bit of a hater of LA, if you can tell.
Well, that makes it kind of a hostile environment if you're immersed. If you have to live and breathe and go about your life in a place that you actively hate, that's got to be hostile.
Yeah, and I also
That's how
think that,
Seattle was for me.
like you and Angeline were saying something. It reminds me of a blank canvas. Like we just get caught in we're stuck in our ways wherever we are. So when everything is the same thing, it's like every day I already know where I want to eat or where to go to get the coffee. I just know everything, and I love not knowing things. I love it when everything's an adventure.
Is it still an adventure in LA?
No, yeah, that's the problem.
Oh.
Like even she was mentioning Oregon. I was thinking a couple of years ago about moving up to Oregon, even just a little bit cooler, a little bit slower. But yeah, I think it could be anywhere. It might even be in California, but I just need to get out of this part of
Hmm.
the world. These coordinates.
It's just following that. Like, it seems like the signal is pretty strong. Like you've gotten the signal. It's just acting on it. How to act on it.
Yeah, I was telling you. I've mentioned you to my friends in New Orleans, especially the two that work in the Marie Laveau district,
Oh yeah.
and they immediately tell me. I mean, I don't have to say more than 3 words to them. They're already reading me because they're clairvoyant or of that realm. They're already like, Spike, get out of there. you know,
So the voodoo people are telling
a
you
place
to.
for me. And they're like, we already know places where you can work or hang out or parks where you can bring a dog. They're already trying to convince me. But
Yeah.
it's not even because they're just wanting me to come out. They're trying to be good. They're trying to tell me what I should know. They're like,
Are they?
and
Is
it's
it
not,
because they're picking up on your energy from living
yeah,
where you
that's what I
are?
mean. Yeah, they're not even saying come to New Orleans only. They're just like,
Get
you
yourself
gotta,
out of LA.
yeah, you're in a rut, man.
Yeah.
You're just doing the same old. And it's true. I mean, I can close my eyes and walk to any store you want me to from where I live because I've just been here for so. I've literally been in my home for over 20 years. So
Wow. And that would be nice and give a sense of stability if it was somewhere that you want it to be. But if it's 20 years in a place that you don't like, I guess that undercuts some of that.
it's similar to what you're saying, though. I know you haven't been there 20 years, but I'm just comfortable. I have my nest. I live alone.
It's inertia. There's no. I would gain a lot of benefits from. I would grow. I would develop. I would bring more opportunities into my life to be active and do things. But is that worth disrupting the stability and comfort that I've created here? It's just easy. Why disrupt this? It's comfortable. It's cozy. Why disrupt it for some unknown future, even though the likelihoods of that future being better and more in line with who I am is pretty great. It's
Mm.
just overcoming that, like making that phase shift from this comfortable homeostasis to the new thing that's actually going to bring the challenge and the growth.
Writing down um so what could come from it might be helpful to like keep
But
your
then
in
I
mind.
then I build myself up and I get all excited about, and when all of that stuff, when like even a fraction of that stuff doesn't happen, then
Mm-hmm.
I crash. I get the crash.
Mm.
I've
Yeah.
thought of that, Angeline. I want to get a dry erase board, but I feel like I'd be too quick to erase things.
Just do. They probably have internet tools now you can use. They have internet whiteboards. I know.
Yeah, but I'm the guy that needs it like literally. Thankfully, I live alone, so no one's like my ex lady, isn't gonna be like, "Get that off the wall." But like, I'm the kind of guy that just needs it, even when the computer's off, just like a big poster saying, "Do this, do that."
Uh,
I thought that too. I used to make like these most detailed schedules and whatever, and could be so good at that, but not actually being able to do it. And I would like put sticky notes everywhere, and as soon as they were up, I just don't see them anymore.
oh
So
god.
Yeah,
this doesn't work. It doesn't work. The whole like the
even the
messages in
fluorescent
my
green
face
ones.
does not work for me.
You think getting the multicolored ones are gonna help, but nope. I got those fluorescent green and the neon pink and all those. I'm like, nope, still don't see it all over my kitchen cupboards because I'm like, oh, I'll go in my kitchen cupboard every day. Don't even see it.
It's like I made
They'll be
something cool,
fine,
and now I'm
freak.
done.
That's the chocolate city. They'll be fine. They're used to the white boys coming in from all over the place.
Oh yeah, my friend said, hey, if you do move out here, come out here. Don't come until at least September because they're like, as soon as you get here, you're just gonna sweat a puddle and you're not gonna know how to breathe. I
Oh
guess
yeah, tourists can't. Yeah, they can never hang with the humidity. It's very muggy down there.
my
Uh,
sister actually went out last summer and she she doesn't call me normally every day, but in New Orleans, she was calling me every 4 hours. I have to take 5 showers a day just to exist.
yeah, we laugh at y'all because we grew up in it. I'm so used to humidity, I don't even feel it. And we watch all the tourists come in and sweat and pant and freak out and complain and be miserable. I wonder
Mm.
if body doubling, this body doubling thing, could help with stuff like this. Like,
Mm-hmm.
here's my goal, here's my intention, getting out of LA or like the place I'm in, and then having another human on the other end to keep you motivated or check in with or talk to. Like, so you're not in yourself, like by yourself in your house or in your room, trying to make it happen with just your
Yeah.
willpower.
Yeah. Because it doesn't work. Yeah. That's a good idea. I used to always think I'd love like one of those coaches that would just be like, "Hey, did you do it? Did you get this
Yeah,
done?" Like, just one of those. I don't know.
accountability.
Yeah, and learning too that you kind of like with the ADHD you need the urgency. Sometimes it's the urgency that gets you
Sometimes.
going. So finding a way to like get that urgency, um, right? Because often we can shut down or panic a little or whatever, and then like until the pressure's really on, and then bang, like we gotta get it done, right? And
Yep.
then we do like we go into that hyper focus crazy mode. So um yeah, I, there's an app I kind of like called Routine Flow, and it like puts you on a timer, which I kind of liked. Um, because then when I hit each, like it just lists your tasks, and when it you start your list, it starts timing you for each task. So it's like even for brushing your teeth, like you say, okay, first you just kind of see, okay, how long does it take me to brush my teeth? So you time that, and then you put it in there for that many minutes. Maybe you put for like 4 minutes or something, brush your teeth. And then what happens when it comes up, it starts counting you down. And you're like, oh gosh, like it kind of, I don't know, for me, it kind of produced that urgency of like, okay, I'm supposed to be brushing my teeth right now before it moves on to the next thing. So I got this amount of time, and I don't know, I kind of liked it. The routine flow is kind of a different way of doing um, tasks, but it definitely helps more if you have someone else kind of doing stuff along with you for sure.
So you just like tell it what you need to get done that day, and then
Yeah, you
it
make like
times it all for you.
yeah, it's kind of like you make a routine, right? Um, but each thing on the routine, you can set it for when it starts, and then it starts counting you down. And so, like, like I started realizing I have to do all this stuff before bed, and that it takes me this amount of time, and
Oh
that means
yeah.
I'd have to start at this time, right? But if I just have that on a list somewhere, it's like I'll never really pay attention. But this app kind of like pops it up and then starts counting you down. You're just like, oh, like, whoa, okay, I'm supposed to be like doing this part right now or whatever. So, and knowing that if you don't like get on it, kind of the pressure or that part is there that you're gonna not
Does it
reach this
make
endpoint.
an annoying sound or something when the time comes up?
It
It's
can pop up notifications and sounds, and I can think you can set it for a bunch of things, but
can you set it to yell at you or scream at you if you don't make the deadline?
you gotta get a friend with the same app who like does that part. You got the apps going off, and then you got the phone ringing. You got your friend on the other line, and it's like, okay, time to do this. Let's go, both of us.
What was it called? Routine flow.
Routine flow. Yeah.
Routine flow. Okay.
I don't know. That
Routine
one out
for
of everything I
ADHD.
tried kind of helped me. It's not for ADHD. It's just I found I liked it. I liked the timer thing. It kind of helped me like stay focused to know that
They in the Play Store they're marketing it for ADHD.
really.
Yeah, it's
Oh, there you
so I
go.
guess they found that that's who's downloading it the most. So they're like,
On my
oh
phone,
well.
it looks like a blue square with a little
Yep,
white thing and a check mark. Yeah.
yep. That's
It's definitely not as good as body doubling, but as far as like an app that kind of puts you on it, like you can keep a routine in. I've tried a million of them, and that's the only one that kind of clicked with me. So,
we're probably all gonna have AI body doubles soon anyway.
hmm.
We just wake up and tell it what we need to get done that day, and it'll take it from there.
But
Okay, let
eventually,
me
our
help you
brain's
with
gonna
that.
register that it's not actually anything. I think, and then it'll just be one of the million things we've collected to help us on the back burner.
Just
Everything
have our
is
own
eventually,
AI in the
right?
corner.
It's like, oh, AI started that thing I need to do. Okay, good. They can do it. I'll live vicariously through my AI.
There's also a body doubling app on Play Store.
That
There's
it connects
something
you with
called
other
Stubby.
people that are available for body doubling.
I think
Yeah.
that's amazing that you made a group for that. Like that's so smart.
There, I saw I'm in some other ADHD discords, and They do that, and it seems
Oh
to
yeah.
work a lot. When people need to get something done, they just go find a body double, and then they can both get their task for the day worked on.
I gotta write down that thing. Oh, I
And
can
some
find it.
people use like they'll listen to my stream while they clean their house or do their chores, and even stuff like that helps them.
There's an app I was gonna try called Dubby, and it's just that it's somebody doing like chores and stuff, whatever, with you, so you kind of follow along, and they kind of piece the steps together for you if you're really bad, like you can't figure out where to start or whatever, so that you're kind of doing it along with them. And
Yeah, that's what I'm
I
looking at.
heard some things about it,
It's a
but
person, like a video, or just a
yeah,
voice.
it's a person. So you know that book that I told you about? It's actually that couple made the app. So her
Oh
her
wow!
her husband, who's a little bit autistic, started like making these little videos for her, like, just make the bed, do this step, blah blah blah. And she started using them when he was gone, and it was helping her. And then they thought, this would be a great idea for an app. So I guess they made an app so you can kind of like follow along with them as they do all these things, and it kind of feels like you're doing it with them, and it kind of helps your brain stay organized.
Welcome to
But
Dubby.
I wonder if we could make an app to
if
help.
what?
I wonder if we could make some kind of app to help neurodivergent people.
I think a group is better, to be honest, because I mean, an app is one of those things that it kind of does this thing and it could go in the background, right? And
So, like, I guess when you don't have access to a person, you have the app.
because eventually you just feel like it's not very urgent. It's just
Yeah.
something going off on your phone, right? But if you know other people are showing up and
Oh,
doing it
look,
with you and
Nova's
whatever, it just
body doubling with us right now. Playing. Well, if
sending a
anybody needs body
description.
doubles in the future, you could come to the Discord or just come to the stream one day and maybe sit and we can body double with you or find somebody on the stream that wants to do it.
Yeah, that'd be fun if we just do a live stream. Okay, I need to get paperwork done today. Anyone else want to come live with me and do their paperwork? And we all just sit
Yeah.
here and like work on our stuff on a live.
Yeah.
or
Like
in, or
what's her face? LA Puffy was drawing everyone's name the other day. She was just sitting on the stream drawing with colored markers and it was so cool.
oh, that's cool.
A Spider-Man costume. Well, the point is to get them to get their work done. And I feel like that might distract them with too much sexiness.
You can wear the Spider-Man. I'll get my Batman mask.
Yeah, like a body double stream. And we could talk and chat. I think we'd have to just to keep the content interesting, but people could bring their projects and we could sit and work on our personal projects while we hang out. It helps some people they find it helps their productivity. Especially neurodivergent people for some reason. We have a lot of trouble getting started and staying on track. And so doing that with other people helps us A, get started, and B, stay on track because we can, if we're doing it with another person, that's where the that's the theory behind it. Having another person around. Let something happen that doesn't happen when we try to do it by ourselves.
Yeah.
She doesn't have a deep voice, does she? You don't have.
No, he's saying, when those people who like put on the Batman mask and then they start talking
Oh.
all like Batman. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I won't be very good at that, but it'd still be funny.
Come on, you got to try it at least. I'm Batman.
I'm Batman.
That wasn't too bad, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, Nova has Harry. We could do a costume party one day. We want to do a panel. We could do a costume panel dance, and show up in our costumes for the dance.
I have
We
a
could do
Coca-Cola
DC and
bear.
Marvel theme.
A Coca-Cola what? Bear?
I have one of those polar bear costumes.
Oh, I remember Coca-Cola
Oh,
Bear. Yeah. Shadow Ban. I get it. That's the one that frustrates me the most. The autism doesn't bother me at all. It just bothers other people. The dyspraxia is what. That's where I feel like a cripple.
can you explain that one?
It's a it's a brain processing thing, just like dyslexia or dyscalculia, but it's with physical objects, with fine motor coordination. So like, um, before I knew what it was, I explained it as like my brain is not completely mapped onto my body perfectly, or my brain runs faster than my body, and so my
Mm.
brain will be trying to do one thing, and it won't be able to fully know where the body is positioned and to interface with it. So it's like when the brain tries to interface with the body, there's a slight little mismatch, and it causes your coordination to be off. It causes your fine, but anything that takes a lot of brain
Right.
focus to be off. So I have butterfingers. I'm dropping things. I'm clumsy. I reach for something here and it's actually here, and I knock it off the table. All kind of stuff like that.
Gotcha. So it's the physical not really matching up with what the brain's
It's yeah,
really doing,
it's
kind of
not a
thing.
physical disability. It's a cognitive, but it involves
Yeah.
physical like manipulating physical objects and your body and positioning in relation to that. And I'm useless in a kitchen. Don't ever let me to your kitchen and try to get me to do something. Um, the consequences are going to be way worse than any help I can provide. Yeah, breaking stuff.
That's really interesting. I don't normally talk about these things, but I had an accident last year where everything works fine. I mean, I can still julienne my vegetables perfectly, but little tiny things that you just take for granted, like when I'm grabbing shopping bags, it's like I call it messing up a Rubik's cube. Like I used to be okay, I wasn't fast at Rubik's cube, but I could do one. But just like the simple things like grabbing my keychain while I'm grabbing a bag or something, it's like it gets confusing. It's like, wait,
That
not even confusing, but it's more like I'm just not as like growing up. I remember being the kid that can bring up 16 grocery, like if my mom brought home groceries, I'd be the one bringing in 16 bags and I'd have one hanging on a pinky, one on the ear, one on the shoulder. But I've realized recently that it's just not that easy anymore. Just little things.
Philip, I have that too. It was they called it a mild articulation disorder, but I suspect it's related to that dyspraxia because it's my brain moving faster than my mouth can make words. And um oh, hang on. I lost it. Let's see. Well, we were trying to do one this year. Jack's Law wanted to do a panel camping, but if we don't get it done this year, definitely we should do one for next year. And he had the idea of streaming it, like having these cool contests and challenges and stuff to stream while we're out there. I had one other something to say about this. Oh, yeah, you talked about like picking up more than one thing. The worst thing for dyspraxia for me that throws me off more than anything is if I'm doing something with one object and you suddenly hand me another object, or I suddenly have to like switch my brain to another, that throws everything off. And then I suddenly
Mm.
can't process either object. And that's one reason I can't play musical instruments because I can't do one thing with this hand while also doing something with this hand because I can't process both hands at the same time.
Hmm. Yeah, that would be difficult. Wow. Thanks for explaining that. Mhm. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Moose, that I know people in math that can do that.
My son's like that. When we did math, it would be like the most complicated problem and he'd just write down the answer and I'm like,
Cuz
"And
he's
you need to show me how you got the answer." And he's like, "Why?"
he's
To
picking it
write that.
up. intuitively somehow, like with patterns or something, but not fully aware, able to articulate exactly how.
Yeah, he's really smart. Like he could get the answers so fast, so easily. But then when it came to showing the work, he had like a harder time for sure. And even when I'm showing him all the steps, it's like he's just not. His brain is just like, this doesn't make sense to me. Like I know how to get to the answer, but showing all the steps is just really weird for him. Right? For me, it's that there's a third body problem. Can't use a pen without giving up. Yeah. Huh.
Huh.
My son has like hand problems too. Lots of pain, lots of wrist pain, lots of
Just
interesting.
in general, or when he uses them.
Interesting. In general, he has a lot of. Ever since he was very little, he had a hard time with gripping and uh, writing and things like that. So that's interesting. Might have to look into that more. Thank you.
Yeah, I had trouble picking up writing too. It took me forever to learn how to use a fork. I was probably a teenager when I learned how to like. Is this how you eat? Yeah, do this with a fork. I would grab it like this and like shovel the food into my mouth because I couldn't hold the fork like normal humans hold it in
Yeah.
their fingers. And to this day, I can't forget chopsticks. I will never learn chopstick. People have tried to teach me a
Yeah,
hundred
that
times.
was the same with him too. That's so interesting. All right.
I'm sort of a foodie on the other platforms. So when I'm watching people eat their food with like the shovel style, it drives me crazy.
Uh, maybe they might be spurgs. That might be the spurgs. Oh, like neurodivergent people. I've never had that problem personally. I've always been able to speak my mind and voice when I'm feeling violated or encroached upon.
It depends on the neurodivergent. Like my son too, because he's very logical. It's like something's wrong. Something's wrong. Like he has no problem putting it out there, right? If it's more of like neurodivergence from trauma and stuff, maybe it might be a lot harder to speak up or bring stuff up or not like mask or whatever,
Yeah,
right?
that's a
So
good point.
yeah.
Sometimes the trauma can lock us into kind of
Yeah.
that freeze response. Moose, we were talking about that. When do y'all want to do it? Tomorrow? I could do it. I could do panel like one every day.
I'm not sure.
Cause Jesse had all that cool music. That was the thing that I don't have the music.
He played it off
to-
Spotify. No, not Spotify. SoundCloud? Yeah. He played it off SoundCloud, I think.
And
I
I
saw
think
on
Moose
YouTube
has
today.
some music too, a music database that's not copyrighted. Oh right, yeah, okay. Well, we can do it. Yeah, definitely focus on that. But we thought about the costume one too. So maybe we could combine it. Do we have any holidays coming up soon that we could turn into a dance theme? Definitely Halloween, but that's oh wow, okay. Why don't we do a celebration?
This coming Saturday.
Yeah, why don't we do a panel dance? And I'll tell you what it could be. It could be it's August, so it could be all the August birthdays, and we'll do a birthday party for the moose, and then everybody else that has a birthday in August, we could celebrate them all at the same time.
Very cool. I'm not gonna be here then. Unfortunately, I'm going on a little trip. But
Oh, well, maybe we can. I don't know. We could see how he's feeling Saturday. Maybe we can shuffle it around and still have the birthday celebration. Because
Yeah.
we used to do that in one of my groups. We used to do once a month. We would do all the birthdays for that month, and we'd get together and celebrate. And every person in the group that had a birthday that month was like the guest of honor, and they all got their birthday celebrated. And we could start doing panel birthday month.
Yeah. It could be
And then, of
fun.
course, everyone else, it's our unbirthday, so happy unbirthday to all of you.
Happy unbirthday. I used to love doing that.
Or a very merry unbirthday, I think.
We used to do zodiac birthdays, so yeah.
Oh, the different zodiac signs. Yeah, that might even be better. What is it?
Mhm.
Wait, don't tell me.
Yeah,
What are
that's
we? We're in
cool.
Cancer, right? This, or did we move it to Libra? I think we're still in Cancer.
Not sure.
Hey, Megan's in August too.
I don't think we're in Libra yet.
Or is it Leo?
Leo is August.
I think we're
Oh.
Leo.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
think you're right. Yeah.
Well, any Leos out there, come. We'll have a dance, a birthday dance. Because he keeps changing his picture.
Yeah, no, I'll wait for Mike to explain that one. I don't want to say his name 3 times.
Oh, our Mike, the Mike.
It's
Yeah. Well,
a good one. It's a positive one. But this one is Kiwi. I used to do radio. I used to live stream, but I used to do Kiwi radio for our good friend in New Zealand, Kiwi. And Kiwi radio was basically like a reaction stream. I just play a bunch of music from New Zealand and Australia, music I've never heard before, and just sort of jam along. Or play meaning like DJ, not play it, play it.
yeah, was it, did you get around copyright?
Funny
Like it,
enough, most of the music in New Zealand wasn't affecting any copyright.
they have that, is it Radio Garden or Radio, one of those apps where you can hear music from all over the world from any time period? I wonder if that stuff's copyrighted.
And
Or
maybe
you could
some
react to
older
that.
music has lost its copyright. I'm
Yeah.
not sure. I don't know. I guess I'd have to research and like make a list
I think it's
of
the
some
100-year
sort.
rule.
I think it's Radio. Yeah, Radio. You might, let's see.
See.
There, I'll put the link. There might be stuff. You can go. It's a map. You go anywhere in the world, and you click on the place you want to hear the music from, and then you can click any point in history, too. So you could like go to Egypt and hear music from the 20s, whatever Egypt was listening to in 1920, or you could go to China
Cool.
and hear music from, I don't know, the 1980s.
Is that the same one where you click it in and it'll play the actual radio that's going on right now?
I think that's Radio Garden. There's another one called Radio Garden that it doesn't have the um, chronological element. It's just real time, like present day. But you can click
Yes.
any country and it'll play music from that country.
I remember like years ago, my friend's dad. I love people's dads, by the way. I love the generation above us, or even 2 generations. But he
Hmm.
posted it on Facebook, and I thought, okay, well, I want to get down to what Mr. D is getting down to. And yeah, I was clicking, but yeah, it wasn't it wasn't what you're talking about. It was just simply radio that was playing live, but I loved it. Suddenly, I'm in the Middle East, I'm in Japan, and
Yeah,
I'm just listening to what they're listening to.
yeah. The
It's
technology
also
we have today just blows my mind.
also interesting because a lot of the music and radio and stuff is used to kind of program that area. So it'd be interesting to listen to just to see what they're being fed, kind of thing, in their music, or even like maybe their news or programs, like just see kind of what's going on, what's programming there, I guess.
Yeah, you definitely, with the language barrier, you definitely hear the difference in literal programming because I'm not a big fan of like electronic music. I know a lot of people are, but a lot of places like in I'm pointing to it if you can see me pointing, but basically like in the Far East or even like Russia or it's just a lot of it is like that very fast dance, electronic music, which that music is all languages, especially instrumental music. But I realized, wow, they're really these people's hearts must go faster than ours because everything is like very fast and loud.
It was the BPMs. Like during, I remember during techno.
Yeah, it was very tech. Yeah, so, something like the word techno that was skipping my brain, but yeah, yeah, it was like very techno, very fast driven, hard beats, and I'm like, wow, it's I mean, we
Yeah,
have our
I think a lot of it was to dance, and then there was a particular types of drugs like MDMA that
Right.
that they matched the music and the drug and the beats all matched, like added, created this experience, this rave experience. It was all tied together.
yeah. I remember there was a type of techno called Goa, and that was very much focused on the drug culture. GOA, Goa. But
I
yeah,
think
drum
I
and
go.
bass, jungle beats,
Yeah,
every
that's about the time I was like a indie rock, alternative rock person, and so when techno came along, that's about the time that I bailed out of the music scene.
Hmm.
It it was a new generation, new culture, and it wasn't. That's when I had realized that my generation had moved on, and there's like a new generation now that has their own thing and is different from your generation's thing. And it was called techno and raves. And now I think
Mhm.
it's EDM.
Yep.
Yeah,
I like
trance and
any.
jungle, all that kind of stuff. Someone tried to teach me all the different genres, but they all sounded the same to me.
I love to dance. Like that's part of what lights me up. I think it's part of who I am. So I like all kinds of dance. So like, but there's one I learned in just the last couple years called dubstep, and that can be fun. Have you heard of
Oh,
dubstep? So
I
like
like the
big,
dubstep music.
bassy, deep basses. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah, that's some of the few techno I could actually tolerate
fun.
because it's more melody, it's more the more beats closer to
let
like
the
You
beat
can
drop.
feel the bass. Yeah, that's the best part. Yeah, but
Yeah, I'm
well,
not.
good.
No, no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'm excited for our dance now, panel dance.
Yeah, dubstep. I don't mind dubstep because it's not. Well, I'm also I'm a music guy, so my my resting BPM is like 78 beats per minute, like sort of just like a very mellow hip hop kind of, you know. It's funny because I was actually not to dox myself, but I was at a cardiologist last week and I kept guessing my pulse. She's like, "Are you reading the screen?" I'm like, "No, I can I can see it moving and I know the beat." But no,
Did you get it right?
oh yeah, no,
Uh,
she was tripping out on me because I kept going like 82 beats per minute. She's like, "Are you looking?" I'm like, "No, I can
do
see the thing bumping around on the screen, but I'm not reading anything. It's 10 feet away from me." But
you tend to have a faster heartbeat?
um, I'm at about 80. Is that fast?
Is that a reggae beat? Probably not. Reggae beat sounds slow. I think I'm at a reggae beat.
I'm at I think 82 is pretty much my normal unless I'm anxious or whatnot. But
I think that's a little high.
yeah, it could be. I think resting heartbeat is supposed to be like 75 maybe or something.
A really healthy resting heartbeat would be like 50, I think.
Ay caramba.
Um, yeah. Sometimes people with like fast heartbeats, you have like a sensitive nervous system as well.
I don't know.
You kind of like more sensitive to touch, surroundings, stuff like that. Um,
Think. No, I don't think so.
hmm,
All right, I'm looking right now. Let's see.
hmm.
What's your age bracket?
I'm in my 40s.
Okay, it looks like excellent. Like athletes are 50 to 56. Good is 63 to 66. Average is 71 to 75. If it's over 83, it's considered poor. That's for adult males in your age bracket. So you said it was 80 something? That does seem high.
This is a little high.
Yeah,
Yeah,
during the test. I mean, I can
it's in
check
the
that.
poor category. Unless that's the norm for you, like you're just an outlier and that's your norm. Children have higher heart rates.
Yep. Women do too. I think the smaller you are, the faster you have a heartbeat as well.
Ooh, Lord. What is that?
What
Is
is
that
that?
copyright? Hang on, I'm going to beat you a second. Wasn't sure if it was copyrighted.
Yeah. I just know some people who have fast heart rates and maybe sensitive nervous system, like don't like being touched as much and stuff. Sometimes increasing healthy fats in the diet can really help with that, and B12. Grounding food, basically.
Is that like so meats?
Meat, yeah, but
Good
um
steak.
proteins, but healthy fats is the big one. Healthy fats and B12
Avocado.
food. Avocado, yeah.
Olive oil.
Um, coconut
Nuts.
oil. Yeah. Nuts, if you have nuts, it's really good to soak them first because then it releases some of the lectin that doesn't agree with the body
Like
so much.
just put them in water? Put them in
Yeah, you could
a
just
bowl of
put them
water?
in a jar of water, soak them overnight, and then give them a rinse the next day and eat them, and they'll be a lot easier on your system to eat and digest.
Oh.
Throw them on your salads or your cereal or whatever.
Your oatmeal.
Maybe not as much oatmeal. That's more of a grain. But healthy fats is a big one because healthy fats help to kind of coat the nervous system so it's not as sensitive. And it's brain food. It really, really helps the brain. Our brain needs healthy fats. So getting those healthy fats in there is really important.
I think I'm gonna I don't know what avocado prices are now, but I think I'm gonna get me some tomorrow.
They're really healing for the stomach too. So if anyone has stomach problems, avocados are like really, really good.
Yeah.
My son couldn't handle them because he's all about textures. Like textures really bother him. He's more concerned about textures of
Oh,
food
is
than
it
the
too
actual
slimy
taste.
for him?
Yeah, so but now he's really into them. He's gotten into them a lot more. So, yeah.
Well, I hear bananas are very healthy. They're high in potassium.
Yeah. And know something weird? If you ever have a sliver that you can't get out, you can use a banana peel and put it on the sliver, and it'll draw the sliver out into the banana peel because of the potassium. The little trick you
What? I
learn.
had one the other day. So just you just stick a banana peel on the splinter?
Yeah, like I don't know how long you have to leave it, but I usually just tape it on or something and then just go to bed or just leave it for a while and it'll kind of pull the sliver out. Like,
Oh. I
yeah.
had to get the tweezers and try to find it and scrape it out. The banana peel sounds easier.
Yeah, it's a little I really love health stuff and little tricks and herbs and all that, and I kind of learned that one for kids, like the kids that won't let you touch their slivers. You could do the banana peel thing and yeah, fun little trick.
Do you have a channel or do you have content that you do or you want to promote?
I do have a channel that I do want to build up eventually. I still don't have I still can't do lives on it, but I'm really excited for when I can. It's like
Oh,
makes you do this thing like where you have to post every day for 2 weeks straight and then you can have an option to do lives and I'm like just having a hard time with
what?
that. So I mean
I,
you there's another way where you like give them your ID and stuff like that and I'm kind of
oh,
uncomfortable with that. So
okay. I
I
think that
wanted to
must have
try the
been what I
2 week
did.
thing. Yeah, but I like to go live on my Facebook sometimes though,
Oh,
and I
does
haven't.
StreamYard let you go live on YouTube even if YouTube doesn't? Does it
Um,
bypass?
I don't think so. I think I tried before and it didn't work. So
Oh.
I can go live on the HVLT or whatever on missing link, but that's I kind of like to keep that separate from my lives.
Hmm.
But I go live on my Facebook and sometimes I'll just record stuff and then I'll upload a video, but I haven't been on top of it. I'd really like to though. That would open up some things for me just to try and go live more, get myself into it more.
I think you have a lot of very helpful information to offer, and the conversation that you're able to have too. I think could be a benefit.
Well, I like having other people here. I think it's easier when you can kind of bounce conversation off people. So yeah, I'll work on it.
Well, I certainly enjoyed it. In the meantime, feel free to stop by here anytime. I absolutely got so much out of the conversation tonight.
Yeah, it was really fun.
I'm
Thanks.
I,
I'm glad you have this
especially
channel.
the body, like the body check-in thing. Just
Yeah.
the
Body double.
body, the leading with the body and not the head, not the mind, not the intellect.
Yeah,
Letting the body
checking in with
lead.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one. You can thank my son for that one. He learned it and then he taught that
Uh,
me. And so, yeah.
Thank you, son.
Yeah. He's 18 now. I can't believe my kids are so much older. I feel I got
I
two
can't
adults
believe
now
you
in my
have
world.
kids that age.
My oldest is 20. She's like my best friend. And then my son's 18 and my daughter is 13. My youngest.
So,
They're all amazing. My best friends.
are
Yeah,
they
my
all still with you? They all live at home.
They are. Yeah. Yeah. And we like it that way because we kind of all know each other. Like,
Yeah.
you know, we flow pretty good around here. So,
yeah, my sister's daughter's bet they're best friends now. She's in her 20s now.
in signs, it's funny because my son and I actually have the exact same birthday. So I had him on my birthday. And then, so we're both the same sign, and we're the same zodiac on the Chinese calendar too. But then on my oldest daughter, we're the same. We're the same moon and rising sign. So like we all just like really kind of get each other. So it's really fun. Yeah. But we love learning about ourselves and each other and other people. It's kind of become a passion around here, especially with so much neurodivergent stuff going on, right? So kind of fun to learn stuff. And then we're always like, hey, mom, I learned this and I learned this, and you got to listen to this book and you got to like. And so we all kind of have a passion about learning about people and figuring all this stuff out.
Oh my God.
Do you guys share the same cake?
What?
Do you guys share the same cake on your birthday?
Usually. I just
Yeah, do
said
you have
that.
separate cakes?
You know what I said? I said as soon as he came, I just stopped having birthdays, and then I stopped getting older. So he gets all the birthdays now. I
Oh,
just give him the
it's just, well, it worked.
yeah. Yeah, that's what I say. So it's fun. Fun actually, because you kind of get to be a kid on your birthday when you have a kid. He's getting older now though, so you don't get to do all the fun kid stuff as much.
I have a twin sister, so every birthday cake is her idea. I stopped choosing the
Oh,
cake many years ago. I'm like, I'm
Oh,
not giving you that fight. She wants a yellow cake with chocolate icing, so that's what she gets.
my daughter's the baker. Like I'm not great at baking. I love cooking. I guess I've gotten better at baking, but she's like that's one of her passions. And we're all gluten free and dairy free here, and so she's like had to master gluten free and dairy free baking, and she makes amazing stuff. So she usually whatever she makes, we all enjoy for birthdays.
Have you ever had this is a weird one, but avocado pie, avocado chocolate pie?
No, it sounds good. I used to make chocolate pudding with avocado. That was really good.
I think it's the same concept. My former lady, she was gluten free, dairy free as well, and kind of vegan most of the time. So she would make these chocolate pies that were made out of avocado, and they're like a pudding pie sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah, that's it's yummy. Yeah. Throwing them in smoothies is really good too. Makes them really smooth and yummy, creamy, more creamy.
You know, I don't believe that you're from Canada. Your voice. There's no way. I speak to lots of Canadians on YouTube. You sound like you're from Middle America. You don't
she's
have.
from the prairies. Maybe that's it.
Oh, is that why?
It's so weird to me. Like even people here I've had in the past tell me I have an accent, and I'm like, what? I'm like, I've always been here. Like I don't know. Like I don't hear it, but I guess who knows?
Yeah, at first I thought you were from, Jeff's part of the world, like maybe Georgia or something.
Oh, really?
Hmm, who knows?
Not necessarily a southern twang, but yeah, something like that.
It's very country in Alberta. Very like um yeah,
So is
cowboyish and
that
all
the
that kind of stuff.
Canadian version of a country accent? What you have?
No idea.
Oh,
I mean, I'm very aware I have a Cali boy accent, whatever that means. But wait,
oh, I
can
didn't
I
even know that.
play with you a little bit? Can you just say the word about?
About
About,
Yeah. All
it's
the other
about
Canadian
time.
gals say a
about.
boot, a boot.
JJ
That's not
McCullough
true
says a
though.
boot.
There's a lot of rumors around Canadians and how they talk that's just simply not true though. Like I don't know anyone that I've never met anyone who says a all the time. Like seriously.
Eh?
It's like
Eh?
yeah, like they put all these weird things out there about Canadians and how they talk, but it's like a lot of it is not true. So kind of funny.
Yeah, I don't hear a lot of Canadians say A either. Now that I think about it, in fact, I don't know if any of them do.
Yeah. And I've never heard anyone say a boot either. Like seriously,
JJ
never.
McCullough, I have
Oh
constantly,
yeah.
all the time, every single time he has the thickest of that Canadian accent.
Hmm.
And Ladybug, who's I think she's been here once or twice. She
Oh,
always
she's
said
Canadian.
a boot.
A boot.
Yeah.
She's a boot.
Maybe it's Alberta. I have no idea.
Well, thank you for playing along. I didn't mean to stereotype anything, but
I do say y'all a lot.
Oh
oh,
yeah,
I
me
say
too.
y'all all the
I'm a
time.
y'all, a big y'all. Where there's no other. Where? I mean, who wouldn't use y'all?
Yeah.
I try. I used to use you. I tried to do it the right way growing up. I'd use you, and nobody understood. But it was too confusing.
I use it in my
Um,
writing a lot.
Same. Yeah.
You
People
use
used
what?
to y'all.
Y'all.
You apostrophize it though.
Yeah, you have to. Y apostrophe A L L. And then if someone spells it Y A apostrophe L L, then you get to correct them. And say that's not how it's spelled. It's y'all. You all. See, like me just did right here. If we were on AOL, that would not have
I
passed.
okay, I do it different. I do YA and then I do ALL.
Oh, you do it this way. Oh wait, Y A L L.
Like two separate
Y'all
words.
all. Y'all.
Yeah, all. Yeah.
Y'all.
Yeah.
What y'all all doing? I like it. What y'all all doing?
I've never seen it or noticed somebody write it that way. I always do Y apostrophe. That's funny.
Huh.
Because it's you all, so the apostrophe substitutes for the letters you're taking out to form the contraction, so it would be Y apostrophe A L L. But I see it.
Sometimes
I see it spelled Y A apostrophe probably more often than not.
I've never noticed it till that exact moment that you put Megan's comments up there. I've never seen that.
Yeah, that's the way. Because on AOL, I was a grammar. I learned to be less obnoxious, but when I started chatting at first, I was very much about correcting grammar and spelling, and that one showed up a lot.
That's funny. Because normally I notice all of those little things, but I've never noticed that one. I'm still getting over the way you spell ma'am. Like that's
M
when I
A
first
apostrophe A M.
yeah, when I remember first seeing that on a spell check, I'm like, whoa, wait.
Because it's taking out the D. The apostrophe goes.
Yeah,
It's to
totally.
mark the letters you're removing. So you're taking out the D from madam.
I'm a lot better now, but I've never been good with the spelling stuff. But then I found out later I have some dyslexia, so that makes a lot of sense. You just
Yeah.
switch random letters around and all that weird stuff. So, yeah.
I'm a fan of is it called double conjunctions or when you have double apostrophed words like shouldn't have SHOULD
Oh, I don't
apostrophe.
know what those are called because they told us we weren't supposed to use them. That not to have more than one apostrophe in a
Right.
contraction.
I have a few actually a couple of the friends I grew up with, but we're sort of those grammar weirdos on the Facebook posts of yesteryear. We'd always talk about those words. But couldn't have, shouldn't have. I love those words.
Can a word be contracted twice?
But it
Double
feels like those are
contractions.
separate words. Like, of would be a separate word.
No, have, couldn't have.
Couldn't
So
have, wouldn't have be the separate word.
yeah, but you could apostrophize it. So it'd be COULDNT or apostrophe NT.
Wow, this Wiktionary has a whole list. Um,
Wouldn't
most of
have,
them are
couldn't have,
obscure,
shouldn't have.
possibly even archaic words. Mustn't have, mightn't have, yanked, yawled, yaller, y'all of, jask,
That's
y'all.
so weird. That's like when I used to just to bug my mom and my kids, we'd just say like I'm the best. I'm the bestest. I'm the bestester. I'm the bestestest. And once that, we
The
just keep
best
adding
is
things on the end to make it bigger and more.
all
Yeah,
right. We're
sometimes
looking.
when I'm writing, I'll use them, but I don't usually put them in comments because it'll throw people off.
Wait, say that again.
As a writer, I'm a writer in my free time, so I'll write them. I'll use those words when I'm writing, but in like a comment on a YouTube, I
Oh,
don't.
because
It'll just get people mad.
yeah, there's way more of them than I would have thought there were.
I'm a writer too. I usually put my stuff out on Facebook though. And, sometimes it's not perfect in the grammar area, but I love to, like, sometimes something just hits me like an inspiration and I gotta get it out before I lose it. Like, just some stuff comes to me and I write it out. So,
Yeah, I don't really use Facebook anymore, but that was absolutely one of the luxuries of. I mean, I guess you could still do it on a YouTube community post, but it's not the same. But I would just get like that little thought that I want to get out of my head, or a little poem, something that rhymes, or
I'm gonna
Well,
be,
like, what about Twitter or Discord or something like that?
I need to get the hang of Discord. I'm like, I'm on there because my kids are on there and we talk that way, but that's about all I really know about it.
A lot of people say that I, the notification settings is one that's key. Learning to manage those. Um, I don't know. I guess maybe because I was an AOL chatter, I took to Discord right away. I'm like, oh, this is just like AOL. I've been waiting for this to come back, and but is the difficulty just it's overwhelming? There's like a lot of moving parts, and then the notifications.
I think that I'm just used my Facebook a lot, and so I just never really got into it to like learn it, but I could totally learn it. And my kids would like help me, but I do seem to feel a little bit lost on there.
Yeah.
But I could get the hang of it if I like did it regularly.
Yeah, it doesn't take long at all. There's a little bit of a steep learning curve just because there's so many settings you have to adjust to make your experience.
I like that
They
they
don't
have like
start you off
room.
with the default smooth experience, and so you have to adjust it to set it to your level.
Yeah. I think
And then just learn how to navigate it.
like I know my kids sometimes like they had rooms and stuff where people just pop in and start talking and stuff sometimes, which is really
Yeah.
that's kind of cool. I like that. Like if you get some regulars and kind of feel like you can hang out whenever, say
Yeah,
hi.
that's
It's
it's
kind of
it's
cool.
24 hours, so it's always on, and it you can chat like a chat room, but they also have channels where you can drop in and do what we're doing now, and video and voice chat. So you could do like a little panel or stream, except it's not recorded. It's just private.
And is that just like voice calling, or is that video
It,
and stuff
it,
too?
video and voice. You can even watch movies and videos together.
Yeah, the yeah, sometimes my daughter's like, "Mom, I had plans. We're all gonna watch a movie tonight," and they do
Yeah,
that. They have like the VR and stuff too.
yeah.
But yeah,
VR. You can do VR on StreamYard or on
I
Discord.
don't know. My daughter's part of a voice acting group, so they do
But
a bunch
I
of
think
characters and
you can play game like Discord has these plugins that whatever game you're playing it. So there's probably some VR games that Discord has plugins to. I know Discord. It's a gaming platform, so people use it for gaming stuff, and I think VR might be part of that.
I joined Discord years ago for some music reasons, but probably a year and a half ago, I jumped into a YouTuber's Discord, and it was like I felt like I jumped into hell. What the heck is going on?
How did you
Everybody-
find it? Which
Oh, just
YouTuber?
just I was part of a community which is indirectly attached to all of these communities now, but I did. I was new to the YouTube universe, the panel. What do you call it? The panelverse.
Panelverse.
And everybody were in these, or lots of people were in these different sections of Discord where, with the music stuff, like 5 years ago, it was very simple. It's kind of just one streamline of the same type of topic, but jumping into the YouTubers universe um, was chaotic. The learning curve, and I don't really know how to use Discord, so the learning curve was extreme.
Oh, was it just a
Maybe,
lot of like people chatting all at once?
yeah, and I didn't, and what you were saying, the notifications, I didn't understand that, and I had done it on my PC, so I was getting every time I'd wake up, because I'm on the West Coast, so I'm already 3 hours behind a lot of people, but I'd wake up and I didn't know how to figure it. I still don't know, which is why I turned it off. But in the little corner of my monitor, I just had these constant little bubbles, ding, ding, ding,
Yeah,
just nonstop. And
because they notify you every single time anybody types anything in any one of your servers, unless you said it otherwise. So if somebody types a comment and then somebody else typed LOL, you're gonna get a notification for just that LOL.
Okay, so if my phone goes nuts now because I just joined your thing, I'll have to get my kids to help me figure out how to turn it
Oh,
off.
is it already going nuts? Yeah.
No,
They'll, oh, okay. Probably because no one's typing yet, but yeah,
yeah.
have them at least turn off all your notifications.
Is it like you just do the bell at the top and turn it off? Is that all it is?
I'm. Are you you're on the phone?
I am. Yeah.
I'm not sure the phone version. I think
Okay.
it works a little differently. But if you click the individual server, I think there's an option. There's a notification settings option, and I would turn them all off initially just for your sanity, and then. But the idea is you turn the ones back on that you actually do want, because you're going to want some notifications, but it's just figuring out which ones you do want. So it's better to turn them all off at first while you figure that out.
Okay.
But yeah, if you have if your kids could help you, they'll know what to do.
Yeah. They've been trying to get me into this.
maybe I need a body double to understand Discord.
Yeah, you could do that. You're not on Discord?
I'm inactive. I think I have an account there still,
Oh,
but
okay. Yeah,
but
you could do
also
that.
partly similar to what you've been talking about on a couple of your streams. The things I was getting on through the Discord, through the interactions of, or the, what are they called? Not channels, but
Servers.
the servers that I was connected to were very dramatic and things I didn't care to hear or see every day, 5 times a day, 50 times a day. There's a lot of the drama stuff, and
Whose server was it?
I don't even remember whose it was. It was like a friend of a friend thing. It was like the
Well,
channel.
if it was anyone connected to the Panelverse, I can only imagine the drama. That was I had to make a whole channel in mine just for the drama. So they can have the drama, but it has to go in that one channel.
Are a lot of people like YouTubers on Discord?
I think so, yeah. Cause what happens is the stream is just part of the community, and then in between streams, we hang out in Discord and we have conversations. But because they're not live, we can go deeper with them or have different types of conversations, or different people participate that might not want to participate live on YouTube. So there's a whole other extension of what happens on stream happening backstage on the Discord. And then in addition to that, we watch movies and TV shows and we get together for that. We talk about them and it forms community. So the stream is only one part of the community activity, and a lot of the rest of it happens on Discord. But that's common for YouTube creators, I find, is for them to have a channel and then a Discord to center the community for that channel around.
Okay, that's so cool.
Yeah, last
happy
year
to-
I went back in just to peek around a little bit. And it was a calm server. It was actually like Paul, the discussion salon.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's a very chill guy, and he's from the UK, so I like hearing his accent. But I went on one. I had one conversation one time with a few people, and it was very chill. But so yeah, you have to definitely pay attention to where you are, because my first experience a year and a half ago was like, what did I just jumped into a traffic jam. Everybody's honking their horns. How do I get out of here?
Especially if drama starts in the fights, then it'll just be all day long. People going at each other, going at each other, going at each other.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Well, I think I'm gonna jump off because it's getting pretty late here, 1:30. So
Oh yeah,
and
it
this
is
is
late
really
even for me.
awesome.
Yes, I'm so glad you dropped by tonight. This has been
Yeah. Thanks for hanging out.
quite wonderful.
Yes, I'll keep an eye out for when it works and come back up and we can talk.
And maybe panel dance, if not this weekend, whenever you get back from your trip and you're able to do one. We could do like the Leo
good.
birthdays or something.
I'm Batman.
Good. Yay!
All right, guys, I'm gonna hop down as well. Have a great night.
All right, you too, Spike.
Pleasant dreams.
Angeline, it was wonderful. Come
Night.
back anytime. Tell Jesse I said hi.
Okay, and you have a wonderful night.
You too. Take care.
Bye.
All right. Now, that was a very, very enjoyable evening. Thank you all for me. Thank you. Me. Thank you. Me. That probably I'm sure that gets old, right? I'm sure it does. All right. Philip. Pot Fried 420. I don't know if you're new or not, but good to see you so far. Nova, a glue for you. Moose, if you're out there, I hope you feel better. Have a good day. And Shadow Band. Anyone else I missed? Thank you. I'm gonna. You know what? I'll go for. Why not? 2 more minutes to make it an even 3 hours. Yeah, that was chill. See, we can do chill here. It doesn't always have to be drama and friction and contention, although some friction and contention is no. It's the porcupine quills. It's just finding that comfortable distance. And some people need more of a distance than others. Speaking of, I was wrapping up. I'll give you like 5 minutes. All right? We'll check in. Speaking of, here we go. Welcome, Mike. You're in the
What's up?
dark.
Yeah, my light. Yeah, I like it. I
Oh.
like it more. I like it. No, the light's on over here. The light is on over here. I just don't have the lights on in the living room.
Oh,
Lights
okay.
are in the kitchen.
What's going on?
Oh man, so I just got home. So sorry.
Oh, okay. We just we had like a 3-hour conversation about a whole bunch of stuff: autism,
Yeah.
neurodivergence, and it was very chill and nice.
Yeah.
And it was a different energy.
Yeah. Who'd you have up?
We had Angeline and L.A. Spike.
Oh, Spike's awesome, man. I don't know Angeline. Probably a very nice person, but yeah, Spike can hold the conversation. Spike knows a lot about music, so you should like talk to Spike about
Yeah, we
music.
did talk a bit about music.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's funny. It's kind of like people talk about Zen, like good vibes,
Yeah, all those
and
words came up tonight.
yeah. And I think it's important for mental health for people to be on the same wavelength, the same energy. And like me and you always talk about energy, someone's energy. And I've been guilty in the past of, being negative and being a troll and doing all those things. And
I
it's
saw the
fine.
videos.
Yeah. But it's funny because they're edited. They're edited, they're cut. Like you don't like when I attack, I'm attacked first, but they don't show that. They don't show you being attacked. They only show you attacking back. And the obsession is real. It really is. And I've never seen people. I'm just as we're talking about mental health. It's very unhealthy to obsess over someone. Just it's a constant obsession. You know.
I think so too.
Yeah.
It does
And
seem like an
it's
obsession.
it shows their mental illness. Because I don't make videos of anybody. I don't lambast them. I don't make hundreds of videos about people and cut and chop them and alter their faces. And that's like some serial killer stuff, man. I mean, like when somebody like the guy who has all the pictures on his wall, it's like, what is that? What do you think?
Yeah, I noticed that too. I noticed that in the panelverse in general,
Yeah.
the level of for some people, I think that this might be their only life,
Yeah.
and so like they put everything into it, and which is it. That's admirable in a way. It's just not. It's a big part of my life. It's more of my life than I intended it to be when I started. But it's not enough of my life where I have to spend my whole life
Sure.
obsessing about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can like unplug and walk away and have other things going on outside of the streams.
Exactly. So, and the thing is, Jeff, is when I get off of here, I don't think about it. Like it doesn't bother me.
Yeah, me,
Because
yeah. Unless there's drama, but outside of that,
exactly.
it's just another day in the panelverse.
And that's why I've gone away from drama. I don't want to be a part of that anymore. I want to get away from that because I can tell you that when I'm involved in drama, Jeff, and I get off, I don't feel well. I
Yeah,
feel, it doesn't feel good to me.
and
If
we were
I get
talking about
off,
that tonight too. Like the body, the body even knows by
yeah,
the way that you feel that it's
it
not.
just, it just doesn't feel
Well,
good.
let's move away from it then. How was your day? Tell me about you.
Not too bad. I mean, had to go do a mid shift and, yeah, just same old,
What's a mid
and
shift? Oh, like
mid
swing
shift.
shift.
Yeah, swing shifts. Yeah, like in other words, sometimes I'll have to work overnight. Sometimes I'll work in the middle where you get off at because right here it's like 3:30 in the morning. So like it's earlier over where you're at. So
Oh, that's
you'll go
right.
in, you'll go in like 8 o'clock and you'll get off like at 1. So it's
What
or
do you do
2.
again? I don't remember. I forgot.
I don't want to say it, and I'm
Oh,
nothing
okay.
against you, nothing against you because they like to pick apart and try to contact people, but it's in the security field. Let's just say
Okay.
that. Yeah. It's a government contract. So, yeah. There's people trying to contact the government to try to find out where I work. Can you believe, Jeff? Can you believe these people? They're trying to contact the government. Where this guy works.
Yeah, nobody on YouTube yet has motivated me
Yeah.
to that level of if I see someone on YouTube I don't like, I'm more likely to just stop watching them.
Yeah. And the thing is that this is the biggest thing, and I'll switch it back and forth. So like people will put me in a drama light, right? Oh, drama, 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 liar, liar, liar. But these same people doing this lie and are the same drama. It's in other words, it was entertainment. It was a show. It's a joke. But it's all right. But then when you want to actually have a conversation, see, they don't come up, and because they can't,
Well,
because they
sometimes some of them try. I don't always let them up. So some of them
yeah.
have tried to come up and
Yeah, and they want to preach about being positive and all this other stuff, and they're the most negative people you've ever seen in your life. And they're hell-bent on controlling your panel. They're control freaks.
I
They
know,
wanna come
but it's a not a cycle. It's a it like takes two, because you both keep it going. You keep it going, and they keep it going.
Yeah. But the thing is that they want to,
Yeah.
and it's a term, weaponize your platform. In other words, they want to come up and they want to promote their channels, right? And they want to attack people and cause chaos.
Well, they can
That's
promote their channels without the drama. I don't mind people coming up here and promoting their
Absolutely.
channels at all.
Absolutely.
So they don't have to create drama to promote their channels. If that's why they're doing it, y'all could just come up and promote it and have regular conversations.
Yeah. It's funny. You'll see these people, right? They'll have their panel. They'll have their channel, and they're talking about peace and love and growth and development and people that have survived infectious diseases like cancers and stuff like that, but then they'll sit there and they'll crap on people.
Well, but I thought we were going to move away from the drama.
Yeah, I'm just saying, as a physiological, as a psychological thing, I'm just trying to figure out how somebody can be put out that they're so positive, but then become so negative. That's all I'm trying to figure out. Like on a mental health aspect, that's all I was trying to say. Yeah. But no, it's great, man. I mean, you have a good platform. Very calm, very easy, and I'm sorry I missed it, man. I was out. I'm sorry I missed it. I would have loved to hang out with you and Spike, and I guess you said it was a new girl or something like that.
Yeah, well, she's not new, but she's hadn't been around for a while.
Yeah, it's good. Because
Yeah.
what?
Do what? Go ahead.
When you log off tonight, you're going to feel good. You're going to feel at peace because you probably had a really good stream. So
I'm going to feel
nice.
tired too.
But it's nice to feel that way. It's nice to not yell and scream for 3 hours. It's nice to be able to be chill. So
yeah, it really kind of is.
Yeah,
it's a different vibe.
you got it, man. I'm see you trying to log off, so thanks for having me up, man. I'll try to catch you on the rebound.
Yeah, I'll be here tomorrow. I'll be here sometime tomorrow.
I'm not always available. Sometimes I'm out and about, and I got to take care of things. But
Yep.
we'll bring the numbers up tomorrow. We'll blow it up if I'm around. the haters are gonna hate, Jeff.
Get me over that hump.
That's it, man. We got to get you. We got to get you 500. But all right, man. Well, listen. Thanks for having me up, man. Have a good night, and it's always good to see you, man.
You too, Mike. Take care.
All right, take care, brother.
All right. Hey, Hammer. I guess you just missed it. No, we had a good chat tonight with Angeline and Spike, and then Mike dropped by for a few minutes to check in, and now I'm wrapping up, and I'm going to get myself to sleep so I can be back tomorrow. And I guess that is it. So thank you again, everybody. Take care. Get some sleep yourself if you're still up, if you want to. Or if you're just waking up for your day, I hope you have a good day. And catch you in the streets tomorrow. Take care. There's the music. All right, music's back.